out. High ball. The fastball coming in at 97. And that was a bullet from Tyler Glasnow. It's now 1-2. He uses that four-seamer 44% of the time, slider 35% of the time. Those curveballs that he sometimes uses. His batters have trouble against it historically. Get another high ball. And safe there. They'll rule it 2-2. Did not get enough of that swing as Rosen backtracked on it. Carlos Torres is the home plate umpire, so this is deferred over to the third base umpire. This one, low. Got enough. Swung and missed on it. Grossman tried to backtrack on it. Glasnow caught him. So now up comes Adolis Garcia, the home run leader for the Texas Rangers. Has 39 on the year. Seager's right behind him at 33. He's at first base. 13 pitches thus far for Texas. First pitch, way high. It's almost threw its way to the umpire. There's 1-0 on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 outs here for the Rangers. Seager at first. Garcia at bat. Stared at it. Right center on another fastball. Coming at 96. 1-1. Right center. See what Glasnow does here. He decides to use one of his 2 disengagements. This one, swung and missed. Top left corner. Yet another fastball. He's been using that a lot. Garcia is second in the AL in both home runs and RBI. This is now a 1-2 pitch. Ray's looking to get out at the top of the first. And this one low. Yet another fastball. This is 2-2. Man, this should be a fun series between these two teams.
I know you're a little bit ahead of me as far as the call and all that, so I'll let you get into it. But yes, I'm really looking forward to it, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And I'm wondering about the Tampa Bay Rays. It's one of those teams where you're like, and you get 99 wins, how in the world do you not win the AL East? Well, the Orioles happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, got enough of that swing. This one was a low ball, 85, and just got enough for it to be counted as a swing. Didn't get it, and Tyler Glasnow, his stellar run from the All-Star break continues on here to the postseason. We'll see the Tampa Bay Rays at the bottom of the first.
I know you probably talked about this a lot in your open. I apologize that I was a little bit late on there. I shouldn't really be on that side. But again, I'm just happy to be here on that end. But I'm glad you mentioned Glasnow, because I know, look at his numbers, 10-7, 353. I understand it doesn't sound like a lot, but every time I watch the former Pittsburgh Pirate alongside Garrett Cole, again, you would know about that, my friend, and I'd say, but Glasnow can be absolutely nasty. And again, his postseason numbers, when I looked at it, they're closer to about 575, and I think he's a much better pitcher than that. I'm looking at him to kind of shut things down today with the glorious Tampa Bay Devil Rays jerseys. I like those.
Yeah, the old throwbacks are not to their first team name, and they're looking to go on this potential deep run with Glasnow and Zach Eflin leading the way.
Yeah.
They won't have Shane McClanahan for the rest of the year and
right.
possibly next season.
Yeah, it's a notable list of injuries. If you want to go across the board, you got the closer, Jason Adam, Shane Baz, Drew Rasmussen, Garrett Clevenger, as you said, with McClanahan, Jeffrey Springs. Again, you can do the same thing with the Texas Rangers. I mean, look at it, Alec, on this side. We could be talking about Glasnow or McClanahan versus DeGrom or Scherzer, but we're not.
And we're not. And instead of that, instead of Glasnow, McClanahan versus DeGrom and Scherzer, we're getting Glasnow and Eflin versus perhaps John Gray and Jordan Montgomery. In fact, Montgomery is the starting pitcher for Texas. He's now on the mound for the Rangers as the Rays take the bat.
Well, I noticed, too, now for Rene Pinto and Jose Siri, some guys that were in and out of the lineup. They're going to be penciled in 8 and 9 alongside Curtis Mead in the middle of that order. So we'll see how Tampa does against Montgomery.
Yeah, Montgomery has been lighting it up ever since being acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals. He is a free agent this offseason, and Texas is really going to keep him and his services for next season and possibly beyond.
Yeah, I think so too. He's been good wherever he goes on that side, between the Yankees, between the Cardinals, you said, now with Texas. They need pitching. You don't know when the other pieces are going to come back. I think Montgomery can be a good piece.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is popped over to the right side. Oh, this one was very close to possibly being a foul out over to the right side by Nathaniel Lowe. Just hit the wall. And Yandy Diaz breathes a sigh of relief. So 0-1 is the count right now. Diaz at bat. He is a righty. And he should get a lot more credit for the season that he's been having.
330? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Montgomery throws a laser at 93, even though it was low. Showing why he's one of the top players to be looked at in free agency. It's 1-1 to count.
You got a 32-year-old in Yandy Diaz having his best numbers. You got 22 bombs, 78 RBI on top of it. So career numbers, you're about to get paid. We'll see if Tampa wants to do that.
And this next ball off the dirt, off of Jonah Heim. It is counted as 2-1 on that low ball, the 83 changeup. Uses sinkers 43% of the time.
Yeah, I've seen that dive bomb a lot already, and as you're showing it across these stats, I mean, it's a good pitch selection here. Try to keep the batters off balance. It's exactly what you want.
And then a high fly ball to the right side on Adolis Garcia. Spotted it, caught it. No problem there for Texas.
Alec, again, the other thing you want to look at for Texas is this outfield that they have in between Leody, Tavares, and Adolis Garcia. They can cover a lot of ground, so expect them to get to anything within reach.
Especially the September call of Evan Carter, if you're talking about the outfield. The 21-year-old rookie has been looking sharp for them.
We get a chance to see him batting ninth today, don't we?
Oh, yeah, we will. He's at the bottom of the order. So right now it's Randy Arozarena, the Rays left fielder at bat. It is a 1-0 count on that sinker once again for Montgomery.
Can I say that he's my favorite player in baseball, especially when the postseason strikes? He's electric, man.
Oh, yeah, he is. And that time right above Montgomery's head through second base, and it's a base hit for Randy Arozarena. Right on cue, John.
He just knows how to get it done. Whenever the postseason strikes, he just becomes a completely different player.
He turns it on at those moments. Kind of reminds me of certain players who turn it on in NBA, NFL, or NHL. Say, Jimmy Butler when you think NBA. Or how about this? Jack Eichel in his postseason run with the Vegas Golden Knights in the NHL.
Absolutely. We can't forget about that. He was amazing.
And we'll get a chance to see him next week when the Golden Knights help hold their banner night against the Seattle Kraken. Now, Harold Ramirez, the designated hitter for Tampa, at the plate. 0-1 count. Never swung at that as it went right down for the square. Now this one back over to the left side, and this is a double play opportunity, and Ramirez is safe. So they get the second out, don't get the double play. Arozarena has tossed out at second, Ramirez at first.
That was too slowly hit to turn to, but again, at least you're able to keep it alive, and we'll see if Tampa can come through here in the bottom of the first.
It's a fielder's choice that time. And easy voting for Corey Seager. So Seager to Semien, and then just a little later, Nathaniel Lowe. This one curved over to the bottom left corner, just right outside the zone. 1-0 it is. And the curveballs that we talk about, Tyler Glass now, oh, don't forget, Jordan Montgomery can use those as well.
Yeah, he certainly seems to have a good one there. Isaac Paredes, the former Tiger, they couldn't find a spot for him. Now he's got 31 bombs for Tampa. My goodness.
Oh, and a blown call. As this ball was to the left of the strike zone, and Paredes never swung at it. This one was a blown call on the sinker.
Yeah, absolutely. That's about 5 inches outside the zone. That's a good take, but he didn't get the call.
And this one flown over to the left side. What a catch by Evan Carter. He dove at it. We talk about rookies. We know Josh Jung is the other rookie. He's been having an outstanding season for the Rangers. Oh, how about Evan Carter with a diving catch to end the first?
Holy cow, Alec, that was hit right on the screws, and he must have got a great jump from left field. As saw the camera pan late, but Evan Carter, he looks not too shocked about being in the limelight playing meaningful games, huh?
And not too shocked about it as much as we say it. But would it be between him or Travis Jankowski or Robbie Grossman? Well, Grossman's the designated hitter for the Rangers. His guys will be batting next after this. But Evan Carter, 21 years old, he seems to be getting the hang of it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it, but again, I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone that comes in through the Texas Rangers system, they know how to hit. They like speed. Apparently, Carter's got a lot of it. He saw that ball well from left field. I mean, again, that was slammed by Paredes, but no problem there on that side. So it's scoreless here through the first. And again, my apologies to anyone that's hearing my voice. It sounds like six octaves lower here. It might be the COVID situation, so I'm kind of in the lockdown. But I want to be here with Alec, at least be able to do this game. We'll see how far I can go as far as for tomorrow or anything else. But I'm here today, and I'm looking forward to it, my friend.
We're looking forward to it together, and get well soon, man. You got this.
No, I appreciate it. Again, it's just one of those things. But again, happy to be here, and I've been looking forward to this pitching matchup. Again, I know we talk about Glass now. I think he can really get it done. I think you want to get at least for Glass now. Again, you're in the postseason, 6, 7 innings. That's kind of what you aim for. I know that, but 7 innings, I'd like to see it. I think he can do it.
Yeah, he can definitely do it. As for Montgomery, we'll see how far that he can go. We all know about the questions around the Rangers pitching staff, but for Montgomery, it seems to be no problem for him thus far in Texas. For the rest of them, that's where the biggest question mark is, the bullpen.
I mean, it kind of seems like you could throw a match there without even lighting it and it would explode.
Oof. It's how rough it is between Brockberg or the closer Will Smith and the acquisition of Aroldis Chapman. It kind of strikes me that their best relief pitcher may be Jose Leclerc.
Yeah, he's been there for a while. And again, I know they're showing it on ESPN. You're getting back into it, but Texas, it came down to the last game of the season, and now they're in the wild card.
Yeah, they're now in the wild card. They have not won their opening series since they made the World Series in 2020. They're looking to get back there this year. So we now have Glass now back at the mound, going up against Nathaniel Lowe. His brother is on the Rays. His brother Josh Lowe is on the Rays. So a little bit of brotherly love in this series.
Yeah, there's going to be there. Unfortunately, the mom cannot be there. I think she's going through chemotherapy, so she's not going to be able to watch it. But both the brothers will go against each other.
And they're going up against each other. Here's the 3-1 pitch to the left side, right over the head, and right to center field. Base hit for Nathaniel Lowe. First hit for the Texas Rangers on the inning.
He didn't
right
really.
Taylor Walls.
Yeah, he didn't really look bothered by the velocity there. He stayed the bat head through it for a long time. Got a nice high hit there, nice single.
Nice high hit for sure. A nice base hit indeed. So now here's Jonah Heim, the catcher, right on the line. That pitch on the fastball. Good job there from Glasnow and directing that towards the line. Second pitch too low. Another fastball that time around at 98, but it was too low. Hit the dirt 1-1.
Jonah Heim always provides the defense, but now this year, all of a sudden, he provides that bat. He's very dangerous.
That's what they brought him in for to contribute on both sides, defense and offense. High ball to the left side, but it goes beyond the left foul line. He'll stay put for the 2-1 pitch. some questions around the Texas Rangers about how they would do down the stretch. They had a chance to win the AL West. The Mariners played spoiler for 1-0 win in the final day of the regular season, and Heim swings and misses on that fastball going outside the strike zone. So now, after Heim, we go at Leody Tavares. 1 out here for Texas. See some kids wearing a Brewers hat at Tropicana Field.
I was going to say, I know they're moving to St. Petersburg in a few years. Might have to, because there's just not even close, like halfway full here.
I mean, the Rays are the only Tampa Bay team to play in St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
And the Buccaneers and Lightning play in Tampa, the main part of the Tampa Bay area. So 1-1 after that ball hit the leg of Tavares.
I know he doesn't have a lot of steals on the season here, Alec, but you do watch for the backhand speed for Texas. They do have some, and they can definitely turn singles into doubles.
And now this goes past the first base and onto the right field. It is a base hit for Leody Tavares. That will put, indeed, Nathaniel Lowe at third as he runs all the way there. So far, the Rangers are rolling.
I swear I'm not psychic, and I do have the 10-second delay, so I don't want to jump all over you, but that was another good hit there.
Yeah, right by for the first baseman. I mean, just right by for the catching glove of Yandy Diaz. Now, Josh Jung at bat stared at that 90-mile-an-hour fastball or slider. Here's the other rookie. When we talk about rookies, well, he's been sharp.
The only thing a rookie would do is get some strikeout in his game with 151, but you will take, on the other side, 23 bombs and 70 RBI. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah, and now a sacrifice fly out to the right side, and Nathaniel Lowe is right home. The Texas Rangers get on the board first, and that will draw the smileys from the Ranger division.
And you know what I like about that, Alec? Because you just talked about Josh Jung, the rookie. What did he do in the at-bat? He kept it small. He made sure he got contact with the baseball deep enough to get a sac fly. He didn't try to get too big. He got the run in, and that's exactly what they needed to do.
Yes. Even though that was caught out by Marco, the right fielder, no problem there for Josh Jung getting the sacrifice fly out. Now we get a chance at the other rookie, Evan Carter, 21 years old, and Glasnow used his first disengagement in trying to get Tavares out. The attempt is unsuccessful.
From everything on the Texas side, they say this kid's legit and he's ready.
And what we've seen over the last 2 games of the regular season, he for sure is ready. Second disengagement, and Tavares steals second. Now he's going to go for third. Will he get there? Ball's rolling, and he got there. How about this?
Oh, we just talked about that. I kind of mentioned with Leody going into it. You got to be careful with all that. You get a wild throw, and all of a sudden you turn from first to third. This could be another golden opportunity for another rookie to drive a run in.
Oh, yeah. He got second and then stole third on a throwing error that happened at second base. All of a sudden, this Tampa Bay crowd is stunned.
Yeah, you have to be. But again, I think, going into it, Kevin Cash was a smart manager. You got to watch out on the base pass with Texas. They can make you pay.
Yeah, they can sure make them pay. If you remember last year, the Cleveland Guardians swept the Tampa Bay Rays and all culminated in that 15-inning home run in Game 2 that sent every Guardians fan into a frenzy. Now they're in St. Petersburg. And all of a sudden, they're getting a little nervous.
Yeah, they are. I covered that series last year. I had to cover 2 games. It felt like I covered 4, and I understand exactly how you feel.
Yeah, we all know that experience of 3-1. After that ball was a little low on that 4-seam fastball on 96 for Glasnow.
So we'll see here if Carter wants to get big and get in the moment here. Again, you got count leverage. I want to see him swing it.
And he did that time. It was below the strike zone. Took a chance at it on the slider. Now it's a full count. So 37 pitches now for Glasnow up against the 21-year-old rookie Evan Carter. 2 outs, full count. Here it comes. And now draw a walk. Went outside the zone, bottom right on another fastball. Glasnow likes to use those. And now the Rangers have runners at first and third, just like they did last time around.
I want to mention this. I know it was a few months ago when we covered this, but it was Edward Julian and the Twins when it was with the Mariners. I think Carter's kind of got that same demeanor. You notice that in his face, look not unbothered at all with any of the stuff that was going on.
Now we have a mound meeting in between the infield of the Rays, Glasnow, and the manager, Kevin Cash. Yes, they want them to have him keep his cool.
Alec, I hate to say this at this point of the broadcast, the top two and not even through 2 innings for Glasnow's day, but he's already at 38 pitches, and that's kind of a warning sign.
It looks like it. Normally he would be sharp, but I'm guessing the Texas Rangers offense are doing like they're one of the best in the league. And Glasnow threw it right down Main Street. No swing from Marcus Semien, 0-1.
That's called getting away with one or trying to keyhole, because Semien could definitely hit that out of the ballpark.
He can. He definitely can. That time he did not take another chance at it, but it was going outside, top left, 1-1. And of course, Semien, known for that dangerous bat dating back to his days with the Oakland Athletics. Now this one tapped over to the left side, a throw, and got him there. Yanni Diaz caught it just in time. Almost ruled safe there, but Diaz got part of his left foot on the base, and the Rays finally get out of the second with just 1 run.
That was a heck of a throw there from Taylor Walls. He had to bounce that one to Yanni Diaz and just got that front foot, as you said, as Diaz got the tag down. That could have been dangerous, but Glasnow gets away with it for limited damage.
It seems that that mound meeting helped him.
You got to zone in a little bit because, again, we talked about all the injuries, again, for both teams, but especially for Tampa. And, again, I just throw it out there. I feel like Glasnow's got to go at least 6. I mean, I know Kevin Cash talked about it a few years ago. Look, I understand what happened with Blake Snell in the World Series. That didn't sit well with a lot of people, and you don't want to make those same mistakes again. I know Kevin Cash was probably quick to throw a hook on his pitchers, and if they're not doing well or comfortable with the bullpen, regardless of all the injuries, but you got your best guy on the mound, and you want to see him kind of hold down the fort. He did that before it got dangerous, but you got to make sure now, next time when he gets back up there, kind of limit that pitch count because they're going to need him.
If you're the Tampa Bay Rays and Kevin Cash, especially how much they can go, especially with the relief pitchers, it's been a tale of 2 seasons for Tampa Bay's bullpen. In the first half, it's basically like what we're seeing from Glasnow. Little off. Mm-hmm. Then they turned it on. Like Glasnow in the second half of the season, right after the All-Star break.
Yeah, they always have the arms that just find a way. Again, if you want to talk about anything for logistics and you want to work in a front office, I'd like to be a fly on the wall of the Tampa Bay Rays. All the players that come and go, and they just find a way to get it done. Regardless of whoever's out there, everybody contributes.
Everyone contributes there. You noted there. So now we have the Tampa Bay, formerly the Devil Rays, now a bat at the bottom of the second. They're facing a 1-0 deficit here in Game 1, opening night or day of the MLB postseason, whichever way you want to put it, depending on which game starts. So as we're taking in the AL, it's opening day, the NL is opening night.
There's going to be good matchups across the board. You got Toronto, Minnesota next in the AL, and then the NL pulls it out with Arizona, Milwaukee, and Miami, and Philadelphia. I got some favorites that I like. What say you?
So this one it's going to be competitive between these two, though I feel as if Tampa may have some sort of an advantage over Texas, but I'm not going to count out Texas in this series.
No, I think this might go the 3 games.
I feel the same too. So 1-0. This one went outside for Montgomery. Just tapped over right by second base and right by Corey Seager. He didn't try and tackle on it, and that's a base hit. Right by Seager and me, right at first.
That wasn't a bad pitch there, Alec, but he just goes off the plate, keeps the bat head on it, puts it right down the middle and right past Tavares.
Yep, as you noted indeed. You know about Corey Seager and how he has done throughout his years, whether it be Texas or the Dodgers, one of the best in the game. And this ball may have been thrown outside the strike zone, but they're going to count it. Another blown call by these umpires.
Yeah, we will see if the strike zone stays consistent or not, but it really hasn't been so far.
It seems that it's not any sort of consistency with the strike zone. This time, it stays put as this ball from outside the zone. They called a ball. It is top left, 1-1. So now, we have the 1-1 pitch coming up for the right fielder, Manuel Margot. And this is hit over to the mound here and thrown. Got him in time. Just right in time to catch him out on that curveball. It was hit right towards in front of Jordan Montgomery. Bunted, rather, and a perfect throw to Nathaniel Lowe at first base just right in time.
So we're seeing Manuel Margot lay the bat head down for the bunt, and Kevin Cash already trying to play for the run to get it back here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Very interesting.
Very interesting look here. Now we go up to Taylor Walls. The batting order is shortstop. This one hit over to second base, and someone might have tried to duck. But that was Corey Seager who ducked on the catch. There was no throw as it was caught on the jump by Marcus Semien. No throw to Nathaniel Lowe.
So on that one, you got Taylor Walls, who's got a ton of speed. That's exactly what you want to do. Keep the ball on the ground. Again, Seager and Semien try to get to that one. They know they have to dive, try to make a play early, but really no chance to get Walls there. So thankful they didn't run into each other and hurt themselves.
Good, yeah, avoiding contact there is good on their part. Now, as Jose Siri, he tried to bunt it. Once they're rolling here on the fastball, they are going to call it 1-0. He tried to bunt it, backtracked, and it is a 1-0 count. Safe bet.
Yeah, Kevin Cash going with the all speed at the bottom of the lineup. See if they pull through here.
And this one's bunted up, and a diving catch by Jordan Montgomery. He reached out to this one. He knew what Evan Carter did and pulled up with one of his own. How about this from the pitcher?
Oh my goodness, Jordan Montgomery diving just toward the first base side of the line. But again, Jose Siri, you want to make sure that you keep that bat head not up in the air, not pop it up. That's the last thing you want to do, but you didn't expect the pitcher to make a gold glove play. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last thing you want to expect of the pitcher making perhaps one of the biggest catches in this young postseason. And if this holds up, and all these acrobatic catches coming up and about.
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, that's as good of a pitching catch that you will ever see. Jordan Montgomery in a full swan dive trying to make that one over. He's trying to rub off the elbow now. I'm sure that probably hurt hitting the dirt, but it feels a little bit better when you make that catch, Alec. That was spectacular.
For sure it has been. Montgomery doing some practice throws as everyone's looking at him, and I don't know what's going on here, but perhaps they're getting a look at him.
Yeah, they're just making sure that Montgomery's all right. I mean, he did take a hard fall toward the first base line trying to make that catch. He was just working out the elbow there and make sure there isn't any damage, but it looks like no worse for wear.
No worse for wear. It seems that he's all good. Yeah, when that elbow's going down to the ground and you land their elbow first, you're always going to have your elbow looked at, especially if it's your throwing arm.
I think Tampa is still one of the only fields that's artificial turf. It's not grass.
You'll see that Tropicana Field, it is, from what we're seeing, it is Shaw Sports Turf. They've been using that since 2017.
Yeah, so they're one of the only fields. So when you're falling down like that and making a play, it's going to hurt a little more.
Yes, it is. That's why the MLS, they switched over all their fields to natural grass before Lionel Messi came to Inter Miami.
It's a lot safer.
A lot. 0-1 is the count. After that stare down from Pinto, the catcher. Here's the second one. Almost hit him right on the upper leg. He got out the way there just in time. It is 1-1.
Yeah, he was just able to take batting practice, gets back in the lineup, now buzz the tower there.
It's safer to dodge out the way instead of just taking the
Yes.
ball on your body. Montgomery has pitched 21 times, and Pinto swung and missed bottom left corner. Took a chance at it, but it is a 1-2 count now. The changeup at 84.
That's a good off-speed pitch there, way out in front.
For sure, indeed. We're looking at catchers in the MLB that can bat at a very good pace. We all know about Jonah Heim for the Rangers. Really good in that category. See Montgomery serving his options. Got him! It was below the strike zone, curved it out below, and the Rays leave with 2 runners stranded at bases. No runs.
I mean, that's about as good as you like there, Alec. Again, it's a dive bomb out of the zone, but not too far enough to where it doesn't entice you. That's a perfect pitch, and then spearheaded by a tremendous catch. Have yourself an inning, Jordan Montgomery.
And so far, so good for Jordan Montgomery, indeed, the former St. Louis Cardinal, who's been having it very good ever since he came over to Arlington at Globe Life Field. And wherever the Rangers have went throughout these games, down the stretch, when they're looking to right the ship with their pitching staff, and that diving catch, perhaps the highlight of the night, one diving catch out highlighted by another diving catch.
Yeah, between Jordan Montgomery and Evan Carter, you tell me which one is better, and you can argue for both of them. I know on the YouTube side, I've had a couple questions already sent across our way. It says, how many runs do you think we get in this game? Well, I'm looking at the MLB RotoWire lineups, and they're saying over under about 7.5. I'm surprised that that's not a little bit more, only because, as we said with Glass now, his postseason ERA is about 5.5, and Jordan Montgomery, again, between a Tampa lineup that loves to put the bat on the ball and get a lot of base hits, well, they did that, but Jordan Montgomery honestly probably saved himself a couple runs in that half inning.
He definitely did. When you look at what happened between Marcus Semien and Corey Seager in that sequence, you'd think that would be a little more for the Tampa Bay Rays and getting some more runs going. Also, that diving catch, the pinnacle moment of that second inning for Jordan Montgomery. And not been for that, you definitely think that the Rays would get one run or maybe more.
Yeah, this definitely feels like it should be a tie game, but again, the tremendous defensive plays that Texas has shown there early, if they can continue to do this, again, we already talked about guys like Leody Tavares and Adolis Garcia. If you're seeing Carter make that catch, and if you're seeing Montgomery make those catches on the mound, I mean, good luck for anyone that's trying to bunt on the Tampa Bay Rays. You might find yourselves in a world of hurt.
And speaking of a world of hurt, the Rays defense already has 2 errors on the day. One on a fielding error when and the guy is batting over to first base, and the other was on the storm base. This one goes to the right side, foul ball as it crosses the line. So it's caught by the ball boy, 1-1. So now on to the top of the third inning in Tropicana Field. Here's Glasnow on the 1-1 pitch. Right down through bottom right for Corey Seager, the former Dodger. It is now a 1-2 count. Already 44 pitches for Glasnow. And this one swung at it, missed it, just got a piece of it on the curveball, and it's a fourth strikeout for Glasnow.
Yeah, again, that's another one of the situations, whether it's Montgomery or Glasnow, you see that curveball there. Again, it starts up high enough to make you think about it with the eyes, and then you swing at it. Well, you say, why do you want to swing at that? Well, then the pitcher's also offering you 98. How do you lay off of it?
And speaking of that, the toss from first base to Glasnow, from Yandy Diaz to Glasnow, and Robbie Grossman immediately retired to first. So that switches things over from Grossman to Adolis Garcia.
I was interested only because for Robbie Grossman, I know Tiger, he's been around there for a long time, Oakland Athletic. He's penciled right into the middle of the order, so you think you want to go ahead and try to draw some pitches on Glasnow. I don't think a first pitch out is what Bruce Bochy wants right there.
And definitely not, especially when you look at him and him being at third in the batting order for Texas. Now Garcia at fourth. This one going over to the left side. Wolves the throw, and another error for Yandy Diaz as he tried to field it, and Garcia gets a base hit. That's the third error of the day for Tampa.
To be fair, again, I can't even say it across. Taylor Walls with a decent enough throw. Yandy Diaz got to be able to pick that one and get the out and get Glasnow out of the inning. We'll see if Texas now can extend it a little bit more for Glasnow here because he was cruising like he needed to be.
They were cruising, and so far this, if you speak of cruising, this cruise party continues for Texas on the trip to the bases. 2 outs, they already have a base hit. They scored the majority of their runs in Game 3 against the Mariners with 2 outs at the bottom of the third inning. 0-1 to count. So now 0-1, right down Main Street that time. Glasnow gets a strike, looking on the fastball. Second time that he has used it on Nathaniel Lowe. The only one of this game. We'll see what Lowe can do here. Facing an 0-2 count.
We'll see Glasnow starting to bring in a 98.
And he went up down with 99, and Glasnow reports another K. And perhaps the Rays, maybe, if they were to provide the KO later this game, they'll be riding on Glasnow's back.
Holy cow, Alec. I mean, that's just, you want to get the out on the other end. I think Glasnow took that into his own hands, but we'll throw that one at 99 right on the black. That's a perfect pitch.
Yeah, perfect pitch. Right on the line in full Nathaniel Lowe. Didn't know where to swing or not swing.
Again, I had to mute my mic a couple times. My apologies for anyone listening. I might have a barking dog. Hopefully that doesn't happen for more than 15 minutes. So my apologies, Alec, if you do hear any background noise.
All good there. Sometimes my cat comes around and starts meowing. So I feel you on that.
Not used to the day streams, I guess is what it is. That's why I always try to do everything at night. But again, I'm happy to be here. And honestly, Alec, I'm glad that you messaged me for this one because out of all the matchups that we got today, I think this was the one I wanted to watch the most.
Same here. Because especially with the Rangers making a postseason for the first time in 7 years with Bruce Bochy as their manager, coming out of retirement to manage this team, him being a 3-time World Series champion with the San Francisco Giants. It's been a season for the ages for Texas.
I mean, I understand with the Giants, as you said, with Bochy and winning multiple World Series, but I mean, at some point, again, you move on. But I think Texas, and it's kind of like a Bruce Cassidy situation from the Boston Bruins to Vegas. I mean, as soon as he's made available, I'm sure Texas is just giving him a private plane ride. Please come manage us because we have a great team and we need you.
Oh, that brings me back on that part of the Bruce Cassidy hiring by the Golden Knights.
Right.
He's going to be beginning year 2 with Vegas next week when we come over to that part.
I mean, talk about an automatic slam dunk between both of these franchises.
It is an automatic slam dunk by both the Golden Knights and the Texas Rangers. If we speak of Rangers, and maybe the Texas Rangers possibly paying homage to their New York counterparts and perhaps no quit in Texas.
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah. And speaking of that, 0-1 count already for Yandy Diaz as this was fouled up to the right side, Rudy Air, and a low pitch on another one of those fastballs from Montgomery. This one came at 93. It is 1-1. So far, 25 pitches for Jordan Montgomery coming into the bottom of the third. It is a 1-1 count. Pitch number 26. Delivered it right nearby the line. And no swing from Diaz. It is now 1-2 on yet another Montgomery fastball. Yandy Diaz set the franchise record for batting average of .330. Well, he's been tremendous. It's hit the dirt on the curveball. It is a 2-2 count. So now going over to the 2-2 pitch coming up. Boy, we speak of Yandy Diaz and him setting the franchise record in batting average. And that time, no swing on the sinker at 94. Montgomery got him for a second KO.
That is a perfect pitch. Diaz trying to jackknife out of the way. Think it's going to be inside. That's great placement. And again, Jordan Montgomery, he's really on a roll right now, and his pitch count looks good.
Yeah, the pitch count definitely looks good for him. And yet, as you mentioned, a perfectly placed pitch right inside the line, right side. Now we go to Randy Arozarena, who turns it on whenever the playoffs come. 1-0 to count as this one is low to the left.
I know Rosarena's got one hit, but if you let him get a home run here, this might ignite the Tampa offense. You got to make sure to keep him off the bases.
Yeah, and the umpires that time took a little time out for the moment. Now we're resuming action. 1-0. Bases empty.
Go ahead. I got to say, I love those high socks in the neon color. He absolutely nailed it.
Oh, yeah, definitely those neon socks. Bringing back the classic look for the Rays. The 30th pitch was just right on the line for Jordan Montgomery. 1-1 is the count.
And Rosarena's got to back out way out of that one. He thought that could have been a ball. That one was pretty close. At least that one was borderline because some of these pitches have been way off the zone.
And some of them indeed. This one, likewise as well on pitch number 31, is now a 2-1 count. So we'll see what Montgomery has at his disposal. We do pitch number 32, and this one likewise out of the zone, but this one to the left. It is a 3-1 count, heading into pitch number 33. So now, Arozarena facing the 3-1 pitch from Montgomery. Just got it off on time. Swung it over to the left side. Perfect placement. Fitting this one over deep and right to the warning tracks. Fielded by Leody Tavares. And this will be a double.
I'm going to get a chance to see it now, Alec, because that is perfectly swung to the left center field and off the wall. I mean, this kid's so good in the postseason. I just expect him to get a hit every time he steps to the dish.
Yeah, he's been outstanding whenever the playoffs come, and his mom is enjoying it. His mom had the ceremonial opening pitch before the game to kick off the postseason, and he's
cool is that, my friend? Wow.
Very cool indeed. Now Montgomery facing one over right side. This is going to get chased down. Would it be caught? Yes, it is. Adolis Garcia with the chase down to tag out Ramirez. So now 2 outs for Tampa. Aaron Ramirez flew one over right side, looking to go out. And if this just got a little more feet right by, he would have got there.
That was almost close to being a foul ball, but again, we talk about Garcia and the amount of space that he can get in the outfield. Not only can he hit bombs, but he can take things away, and that's a good outfielder there in Adolis Garcia.
Not only defensively, but also
Yes.
offensively. And was this ever so close? Was on the line. Isaac Barrett is now 0-1, 1-0 on the count. They're going to rule ball one, or is it a strike looking on the changeup?
They're going to call that one a strike again. Paredes shakes his head, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either for that. Another one of those curveballs. So now it's an 0-2 count on the foul ball. So, in the meantime, when we look at the out by Ramirez, Arozarena went from second to third on the sacrifice fly out right side. Ooh. A pitch to the dirt. And went off Jonah Heim.
When they talk about the spray chart that they just showed us on the TV side, again, I guess you know where to stand if you're an outfielder. Just you need to be toward left field.
It feels like it, for sure. So Montgomery, now in pitch number 38, flown over. And this will be either caught. Yes, it is caught right on the warning tracks by Nathaniel Lowe on the sinker. That left Arozarena stranded at third. He was waiting to score there. I mean, he was waiting there all sorts of daylight, and the Rays don't even get a run here for 3 innings.
Yeah, it was a tough start to the at-bat for Paredes. That had a definite ball that should have been called there, probably trying to keel for a power hit, score Arozarena. It looks like right now the only Tampa Bay Ray that's been ready to go in this game on the top of the order is Arozarena. The bottom of the order has been fine with some of the bunts, but it was just a great play by Jordan Montgomery, as you said, that probably took a run away from them. So we'll see if Tampa now, as it switched back over to Glass now again, if he can kind of hold in a little bit, make sure that he can keep the game close, because Texas, again, I think if we're going to talk about who's got an advantage in what situation here, I think you and I would both agree that the Texas offense is definitely better than Tampa's.
That is for sure. Texas has the advantage on offense. I know it's pretty much polar opposites when it comes to offense and the pitching staff between both of these two teams, but Texas offense against Tampa's pitching staff, so far, the Rangers are winning that battle.
Yeah, they're winning it. And like you said, with Glass, I keep punching this button, but I think I have to. It's important if he's an ace of a staff. Again, you got 30 teams in Major League Baseball, and you think he could at least be a top 30 type pitcher, that he needs to have a 6-inning, 1-run outing. And again, I understand how hard that is to do against Texas, but I think that's really what's needed until Tampa can find a way, because if they kind of get shut down by Jordan Montgomery, you can go into game 2 where that becomes a must-win situation, and Tampa's got pressure on them. Well, they had it last year against the Cleveland Guardians, and they did not come through. They lost a couple extra inning gruelers here, and who knows? It could be the same situation for Tampa if they don't get it done today.
It feels like that when you look at the Tampa Bay Rays, of all the pressure on their side heading into this game. You think back to that 15th-inning home run last year against the Cleveland Guardians. And you speak of the Guardians with Terry Francona capping off his career in style. And those last games between him and Miguel Garcia of the Detroit Tigers, boy, they wrapped up their careers very nicely. Back here, and ball one, just as we come shortstop, and another base hit for the Rangers. Right between Yandy Diaz and Curtis Mead. And once again, this recurring theme for Tampa Bay continues on. Pouring offense here. And once again, facing a 1-0 count as Glasnow throws this low on Leody Tavares. You looked at that ball, no swing at it. And this one right through Main Street at 96 on a fastball. A Glasnow fastball brings it to a 1-1 count. 56 pitch here for Glasnow. At bottom right near the Caribbeans, and right near the Caribbean. 1-2. Tampa's looking to get out of this with 3 outs in this 4th inning. A strikeout here will get the first of 3 for Glasnow. And this one, it almost hit the ass. That 98-mile-an-hour fastball is now a 2-2. Remember, Tavares is a left-handed batter. This one curved over right to the left line. Perfect delivery from Tyler Glasnow for a 6th strikeout, and that gets Tavares out.
Wow. That was a gorgeous pitch there, Alec. That's a perfect placement on the curveball.
Curveball's really coming to fruition here for Tyler Glasnow. Now he's up against Josh Jung, one of 2 rookies on the Rangers. This one spotted, and a good catch there. Right to center field as Josh Jung lined this one out all the way to where Jose Siri was waiting.
I mean, look at it for Jung. You hit the ball real hard. The last time up, you get a sacrifice fly. You scored the only run of the game. I'd say that he's had a pretty good game so far.
And so far, so good for Josh Jung. And now the chance for the other rookie, Evan Carter, 21 years old from Elizabethton, Tennessee. The first pitch, floated over to the right field at right center. Perfect delivery as it goes to the warning tracks. Heim still running. Carter's going to get at least a double. He is. Stopped by Tony Beasley, but pitch number 60 for Tyler Glasnow. And all of a sudden, the Rangers might blow this game open.
Hey, I say the nice things about Jung, but I can't forget about Carter. He got the diving catch. You get on base with a walk, and then he absolutely slammed a double. I mean, he was all over Glasnow's pitch there.
Yeah, all over, as you noted, John. He's been all over Tyler Glasnow. All of a sudden, we might see perhaps a pitching change as early as the 5th inning for the Tampa Bay Rays, or at the end of the 5th inning. We're heading into the 6th inning for Tampa. But we'll see if Kevin Cash makes a decision. It is a 1-0 count in the meantime. Back to Marcus Semien we go. A curveball. Yet another blown call by Carlos Torres, the home plate umpire. Instead of this being a ball, it was outside. He called it a strike.
Yeah, I think now if you're the batters on either side, when you get toward the left on the outside, you better be ready to swing if you like it, because that's starting consistently to be called a strike.
Got it that side. 2-1 is the count as this one goes right center, and the third one headed over to the left side. This is going to be high and caught. The left infield ball, and the Rangers once again get out of this with no runs. The Rays save themselves from perhaps a 3-0 deficit.
Yeah, and I think you said that perfectly, because Tyler Glasnow, again, you mentioned it. I'm glad you did about the pitching situation. He's tight roping himself out of danger here. Able to get the strikeouts, able to get the bad part of the bat there against some good hitters. But again, when you're talking about Josh Jung and Evan Carter, I want to just throw this out there to you, Alec. Where is the soft spot in this Texas lineup? Because I just don't see it. I mean, we can argue Robbie Grossman third in the middle of the order, And I would agree with you there. But I mean, other than that, if Josh Jung and Carter continue to produce the bats that they're doing, there's just not an easy out in this lineup.
There's not really an easy out. Whether it be, and you talking about Robbie Grossman, burned the lineup. They've been rotating between him and Mitch Garver at the DH.
Right.
That's what we're going. That's what they're going with on the rotation for Texas.
I think it's a good rotation. I know Travis Jankowski also got some time as well. So I think whoever's hitting, obviously that's what the designated hitter spot's supposed to do. But whoever is able to get the best pitching matchup of the day, let's just say Grossman had good numbers against Glasgow. That's why they put him in. You just roll with whoever's hot because everybody else right now, you also got Ezekiel Duran on the shortstop spot that you can use to DH on that. So there's got a lot of speed. So again, I could see him in the lineup tomorrow if they want to move things around. But yeah, I mean, for Bruce Bochy, it must be nice to have an embarrassment of options to use all over in that batting order.
Yeah, a lot of options. Whether it be Marcus Semien or Corey Seager or Adolis Garcia, Nathaniel Lowe, you name it.
Yeah.
It's a plethora of offense here in this lineup.
And it's interesting too, Alec, because again, you go into last year, you signed Semien, you signed Seager, you know Texas wants to spend money. They want to get to where they want to get to, and they have those two as linchpins. And Seager hits 327 with 33 bombs and 96 RBI. I mean, he was a machine.
He has been, and I love the way that Texas has been getting out this offense left and right throughout the season. Third in the MLB in home runs. Two of their guys, Garcia and Seager, have had at least 30.
It's crazy. I mean, they just bash the baseball. That's what they do.
That's what they do. Yeah, night in and night out. Now Montgomery facing Curtis Mead right down Main Street. No swing from Mead on the fastball, 93-01.
Are you surprised at all that Montgomery is matching Glasnow pitch for pitch and he doesn't even give up a run yet?
You know, given that I see this as more of a pitching matchup in this game, I wouldn't be. Montgomery's been so good dating back to the days in St. Louis, and as you mentioned, the Yankees, 0-2 pitch on that foul ball coming up.
No, I appreciate the honesty on that side because, again, I won't be shooting him into you. I'm a little surprised that this game is 1-0 on this side only, but again, this is exactly what Texas needs. You know, their offense is going to strike at any moment.
And speaking of what they need, they got that first out on that bat right over. It was a fast bat. Nathaniel Lowe spotted, and then the toss to Montgomery, and one out just like that.
That was a pretty sure play there by Nathaniel Lowe. Again, if you're Yandy Diaz on the other side, you've already missed a couple on the errors, and then good spot by ESPN on that side. They're showing the tremendous defense from Texas.
For all the talk about Texas offense, against the defense doesn't get a lot of credit here.
No, they're dominating.
Yeah, dominating, and that is a term that I would like to coin here because dominating is what I would love to see from this Rangers team moving forward. Now it's an 0-1 on that strike, top right, no swing on the sinker. 0-1 pitch, and tapped over behind everyone, including the catcher, Jonah Heim. It is 0-2 to count. And you look at Bruce Bochy, the single behind those glasses. So, bases empty, pitch count at 2. Swung and missed. Montgomery got another. Or actually, is it? Yes, it is. I wasn't sure if it was a strike or if it's a foul ball, but Montgomery with strikeout number 3 on the day.
Yeah, it was a late call. I don't blame you on that side. Again, Jonah Heim might have got a piece of it on the other end, but there are no worse for wear there. And Jordan Montgomery, again, for all the curveball talk for Glasnow, Montgomery says, take this. He's able to get Margot on a bounce for all things.
Yeah. It was a sneaky bounce on the curveball. I mean, just fit it right through. Fold him out there. Those curveballs are very tricky to hit.
Well, I see Jonah Heim got the back of the bat head. That's why he got shaken up a little bit.
Just to know, 1-0 is the count. Pitch number 46 coming for Montgomery. It comes and almost hit Taylor Walls. That was a fastball coming at 93, and boy, those fastballs can really sting people. 2-0 is the count on Taylor Walls. Filling in for Wander Franco. Walls is playing stellar defensively. Gets one over to third base, and the throw got him in time. The perfect throw from Jung to Nathaniel Lowe, and once again, the Rays just cannot buy a run.
Hey, Alec, that's a nice play off the hop there from Jung and a great stretch from Lowe to be able to get a speedy Wolves on that side. So again, that's 4 defensive gems, honestly. Yes, I'm going to use the word gem because that was not an easy play to make. I know you talked about it on that side for Wander Franco, and again, I won't get into all the details because some of that stuff is bad, as we know. But I was looking at the Tampa Bay Times, and he was asked, Kevin Cash, by a couple of reporters, are you prepared to play without Wander Franco for the rest of the postseason? He flat out said yes. And everything else that we know about Wander in the situation, that's not going to come through until the season is over. And what we do know about Wander Franco on that side is he's in the middle of a 12-year deal, which would give him the most money in Tampa Bay history. And he's a guy that puts up a lot of numbers. So I guess I would just use it as a forewarning of this. Again, doesn't matter what you do on that side. You got to be careful. You can always get yourself in some trouble. Doesn't matter how young you are. You get all this money in the situation. Make sure that you stick to baseball, stick to your craft, and keep all the other outside distractions out because it could cost you your career. And it's amazing. When we're thinking about this between Texas right now, they could use Wander Franco in the middle of this lineup.
And they could. If it weren't for all the things that you were getting into, we're not going to name exactly what he did because it's kind of
bad.
disturbing, the details. You want to stay away from all that stuff because when you're looking at it, you want to stay away from all the outside noise, the distractions, because if they become too much of a topic, it can get to someone's head, and they can be distracting and keep them off focus.
No, I think it's well said, and I think it's where I wanted to leave it to. I didn't want to try to blow up the broadcast with those, but I was looking it up just to make sure if we got any kind of postseason updates. And the only thing we can tell you right now is we'll see what happens in 2023 because it could be a strong possibility that if everything is ruled out to be that way, we might never see him play baseball again.
And that may be unfortunate on his part considering he had a promising career.
Right, and he's a really, really good player.
Yeah, he is. And ESPN ABC was showing the AL, and the last time they won their championships, and this one on its way off the wall. This will be another double potentially for the Rangers. It is.
Corey Seager, that doesn't surprise me. That was absolutely blasted trying to be catch there on the other side for Jose Siri. He made a good effort at it. That was a good throw in, but my goodness, Corey Seager, he looks like Mickey Mantle.
That's the nature of member, and you look at Jose Siri, he tried to catch that one, went off his hand. Not even the catching glove. His hand. And Tyler Glasnow can't believe it.
I think if Glasnow had to do that one over again, I just saw a big hanging curveball. You can't do that to somebody like Corey Seager. He's lucky he didn't take him deep.
I mean, the Rays dodged the bullet there for the moment, but we'll wonder how much this affects them because that could have been a home run as been lifted a couple of feet up higher. All right, so 1-1 with Robbie Grossman at bat. Didn't swing it, thought about it, backtracked on it as it hit the dirt. 84 on that curveball. 2-1 is the count. 68 pitches thus far for Glasnow. Only run was scored by Nathaniel Lowe on a sacrifice flyout.
There's no doubt in my mind that that's his primary pitch. He feels comfortable with them. Why not? He's placed it all over the strike zone today.
And another fastball. This one travels out. It is now a full count.
70 pitches now for Glasnow. Could this be his last inning?
We will see as this game goes on, but in the rare occasions we have seen pitchers pitch at least 100 times in a game, and Glasnow got him. Or did he? No, he didn't. Just right outside the zone by just a fingertip. Just a fingertip it was. 97 the fastball, and Grossman's going to first.
That's a good eye for Robbie. That is one of the things that he is very good at, drawing walks. I guess you want to just have that temperament in the middle of the order. I wanted to see if he would come through. And now pitching coach is out there for Tyler Glasnow at 71 with runners at first and second and no outs.
So an area of concern for Tyler Glasnow. They're going to bring the relievers early. He may be approaching the tail end of his day with 71 pitches thus far. 45 strikes, 26 balls thus far for him.
I'm going to go on record right now, Alec. Adolis, Garcia, Nathaniel Lowe, and Jonah Heim may be up next. I think there's going to be some runs scored here.
You can see that coming. Three-run home run opportunity for Adolis Garcia will be his 40th regular season and postseason combined. He leads the team in that category. Looking at Tropicana Field, formerly known as the Thunderdome, and boy, is an indoor stadium one of the nicest indoor stadiums in baseball. 0-1 count, 70 for a pitch, wild. A slider coming at 90 went above the zone, way above it. 1-1. Garcia reached on an error previously, but he is 0-2, 0-2 on the day.
I got to say, I'm loving the cleat selection. High socks or Rosarina cleats for Garcia. Those are on point.
And love how the MLB is relaxing the dress code rules for players wearing cleats in game. As if you know about the NFL, A.J. Brown was forced to change his cleats by the NFL themselves, and he was wearing distinct neon green cleats so that his daughter could spot him more easily.
Yes.
Now the 1-2 pitch, hit off of Glasnow, and now it's going to be caught, and then thrown safe by Garcia, and that'll get the bases loaded here. Danger territory for Tyler Glasnow, with Nathaniel Lowe coming up.
Well, it looks like Glasnow isn't hurt. That one bounced off of him, though, but the bases are loaded. And again, I already talked about going into it. I think runs are going to be scored. Now you got bases loaded, no outs. And on this side, you got Nathaniel Lowe digging in. And, yeah, this is danger territory now. And for Glasnow, they will give him an extra beat because that was a missile right on the left side of the inner thigh. So hopefully Glasnow is okay. He has had injury concerns, so we want to make sure that he's all right. But he got blasted with a comebacker.
Yeah, that's a velocity coming at 109 miles an hour. They will look at him, but do know that he began the season on the IL, didn't make his debut until late May, as you noted about the injury concerns about Glasnow.
Yeah, again, the 120 innings pitch is the most he's ever logged in his career. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really isn't on that side. He has not been durable, but when he's on the mound and he throws the 98, 99, and he's got 5 other pitchers, you can see why he's enticing. He's just got to stay healthy.
Just got to stay healthy because he's their ace pitcher. One of the best on the pitching staff alongside Zach Eflin and Shane McClanahan, and they won't even have McClanahan for potentially next season.
Right, and essentially now, if you're going into this, you're talking about if you did have McClanahan tomorrow, that's exactly what you need for shutdown. But as you said, they don't have that. Now you got bases loaded and nobody out.
And the first off was a low ball from Glasnow. It hit the dirt and went off of Renan Pinto, and it traveled to the left. Pinto had to rush to get the ball
Yet he's breathing a sigh of relief because he could have used Christian Bethencourt today. Pinto gets to start coming off the batting practice being injured, and they need to make a big block there.
And this curveball hit and spotted, and no problem there for the Rays. Isaac Paredes to catch.
That is one crisis averted there, as nobody can sacrifice for Texas, but now they need a double play or a strikeout in the worst way.
Any way possible counts. Potentially throwing someone out at home plate, just like what we covered last time around, what the Mariners did with Jose Altuve.
Yes. I mean, this could essentially be the game.
This is basically the game there. This one hit right behind, and Seager will score. So that'll get one runner in. The bases may still be, but there's a runner at second and third, but Seager is in.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness, indeed. Jonah Heim will stay put, but so far the Rays defense have committed 3 errors, and this may be the 4th one.
That is absolutely brutal, Alec. I didn't mean to step on top of you, but that's a fastball that gets way out of the zone. No chance for Pinto on that, so I kind of airmailed, and yeah, for a team that's usually fundamental, they've looked anything but.
Anything but fundamental. Oh, that's what we're talking about, Tampa Bay. Usually, you'll see this team coming out on top. We expect them to be the World Series contenders like they were in 2020 when they reached there. Even though they lost to the LA Dodgers, that run was truly special from them, and they're looking to recapture that magic. Back there with Blake Snell, now Tyler Glasnow. Already a 3-0 pitch, and the bases loaded once again. A walk here for Jonah Heim on the fastball. Traveled well above the strike zone, and Kevin Cash, he's thinking, what are we doing here?
Well, again, I'm glad you brought up Blake Snell because I mentioned a little earlier in the broadcast about Kevin Cash not pulling the pitcher soon enough. Well, now you think for Tyler Glasnow, maybe you should have already got to this situation because this is the game, as we said. Texas gets a couple more runs here. I think they might be able to lock this down because Montgomery's pretty good right now.
Answering everything that Glasnow has offered. And now Leody Tavares will have a grand slam opportunity here to expand this lead to 6-0. In the meantime, Zach Little and Chris Davinsky are warming up. This swing went off of his lower leg, his lower left leg. It is ruled a foul ball, 0-2 to count after that swing and miss in the first pitch. That was coming with a lot of velocity that time for Leody Tavares. Glasnow needs this one badly. Already pitched 83 times, so this will be his 84th pitch on the day. It is 2-0 Tampa, and got him. Top left corner, Tavares took a chance at it, and Tampa needs one more.
Well, you talk about damage control. He goes with a curveball, be able to get a punch out there. And if he can keep this within 1 again, Glasnow's been in some hot water, but he's trying to get out of it, at least keep his team in the game. He might be able to do so if he gets 1 more.
And that is on Josh Jung, this electric rookie for Texas coming in as a 7th batter or 8th batter. And now Jung swung and missed on the slider. You speak of damage control. Tyler Glasnow wants to ensure that the Rays, they get out of the 5th inning with just 1 run.
Yeah, because the bottom part of the order is the one that's kind of done the most damage.
And especially Jung and Evan Carter. Harry throws another curveball, and Jung got fooled there. Took a chance at it. Definitely got fooled. He was thinking slider. Glasnow threw a curveball. Everyone on their feet here in Tampa.
Yeah, he's got to go. I think he's got to go for it again. Try to see if Jung will offer again. He's very prone to the strikeout.
Let's see what Glasnow does here. Got him! Glasnow saves the Rays here from a grand slam. The lead is kept to 2-0 Texas.
Absolutely massive. Again, as I thought he'd go to that same pitch in the same spot, maybe just a tad lower. And again, you called it perfectly there. I understand Texas got 6 hits and 2 runs, but I mean, for everything else that's in front of you, I think Glasnow's done the job. Honestly, I mean, how much damage do you expect the pitcher to be able to limit against this offense?
Yeah, Glasnow's doing everything for the Rays. The fielders, they're not doing him any favors, unfortunately, with 4 errors on the day.
Yeah, definitely. At least one of those runs should have been put back, not even on the board. And now it's time for the Rays offense. Honestly, we're in the middle portion of this game. It's been flying by here. They need to get something going, Alec.
Yeah, whether it be Randy Arozarena or Yandy Diaz, 23 and 22 home runs, and Isaac Paredes was 31.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Lowe is 20. They can do some damage offensively, but we haven't seen that yet for Tampa Bay.
No, we have not. But again, I'll let you finish this bottom part of it. And maybe I'll pick up an inning, but then I'll leave the rest of it to you because I want to make sure that you're able to stay fresh. I feel bad that you'd have to call a full 9 inning game and pick me up, but I think I can get an inning here. If we go through it around the next time if you want.
The 6th inning, if I'm guessing?
Yeah, I don't mind the 6th or 7th inning.
I got you there. All right. You can get the 6th.
Okay.
So we're coming closer to the start of Blue Jays Twins. And this series, you may think that this is 2 teams that are looking to gut it out. Minnesota is looking to snap their 18-game playoff game losing streak.
I don't think any franchise is more cursed than Minnesota baseball, or maybe even Minnesota athletics in general. When I'm thinking about the Vikings or the Wild or some of that, the Timberwolves, it's rough out there.
Very rough, even though they got one of the most passionate fan bases in all sports. Just endless agony.
It is.
You think last year, Minnesota, I know they stole 2 games from the Wild, stole 2 games for the Dallas Stars.
Yep.
But for the rest of that series, Dallas dominated throughout.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and then the Timberwolves 8th seed going up against the Denver Nuggets, going a 3-0 hole, ended as many people expected. Now Montgomery, low ball, but this one tapped over at the bottom of the strike zone and spotted by Nathaniel Lowe. First base coach saw that all the way. Lowe did so too, and immediately a first pitch out for Tampa coming into the bottom of the 5th. Now, to round out the order, goes from Jose Siri to Rene Pinto.
Again, Montgomery not even at 50 pitches yet through 4 1/3. He has been rolling.
One of those times that we could possibly see Montgomery go on to perhaps the 7th if he keeps these pitching numbers to a minimum. Just remember, Justin Verlander lasted until the 8th inning for the Astros against the Mariners, and perhaps a vintage night for him. Now a 1-1 count.
Again, you think about it, for as bad as the Texas bullpen is, Bruce Bochy's got to be jumping up and down to get this type of outing from Montgomery so far.
And we talked about who perhaps is their best pitcher this far in the midst of all these injuries. At first I was thinking Dane Dunning, but now Jordan Montgomery, he seems to have taken that crown.
Yeah, I think we're looking at him right now. He's on the mound.
Yeah. 2-1 count now after a high pitch. Now this next one, swing and missed from Pinto. This one going well left of the zone, out of Pinto's reach. Now a 2-2 count. On deck is Yandy Diaz, who is 0 for 2 on the day. And another pitch that was way out that time. Pinto did not swing it. It's now a full count. Another Montgomery fastball. So we'll see what Montgomery can do. I know all of St. Louis may be watching him, saying that he he has offered these kinds of nights night in and night out for the Cardinals. This one bounced off the first level and went up to one of the upper levels of right field at the stands.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if you're a Cardinals fan, if you have a smile or if you're kind of shaking your fist, but they've won so many World Series, I think they're okay with it.
It may be, especially when you look at Albert Pujols and him breaking 700 home runs last year. Tapped over to left center, and then the throw, no problem there between Corey Seager and Nathaniel Lowe. 2 outs now for Tampa, and you think that there's some sort of hustling or the hesitancy or any of the desperation starting to settle in here, 2 outs bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, like I think that's a good call by you. Again, it's not too early to say when you're getting to pretty much your final 12, 15 outs on that side. I mean, unless you're cloning Randy Arozarena across this lineup, somebody's got to get going here for Tampa.
And that means right now Yandy Diaz was at the top of the batting order. So far, he has struck out the previous week, and it's 1-0 to count as this one goes to the left of zone. We'll see what Montgomery has at his disposal. With pitch number 58, it is below the zone on yet another one of his fastballs, 2-0 count. So, Twins Blue Jays is set to start soon. We may get some updates from that game as this match goes along. This next one, batted over to deep center. And right to the warning tracks, this will be spotted and caught by Leody Tavares. No run still for Tampa Bay. We'll see Evan Carter, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. 2 up for the Rangers. We turn things over to you, John.
Well, I appreciate it, Alec. I just want to make sure I cover you here, at least for an inning here, because I know you're doing a great job. Again, I'm just happy to have you have me join in here, even though a little bit under the weather. Just wanted to take this game in here with Alec. We promised we'd get you some postseason action. He might be on his own tomorrow. I don't want to push things too much, but at least get this game in today. And look, honestly, Alec, I think this might be one of the better games in the series. I know we still have some intrigue going forward, but again, I'll say it openly, and you said it. You think Jordan Montgomery is going to do this? I'm very surprised in the sense that he's been able to be this dominant. I thought Glasnow would probably be in this area, 2 runs. It sounds about right, but Jordan Montgomery, again, if they could keep this for Bruce Bochy as a non-bullpen day, let's say Montgomery goes 7 or 8, I mean, that's got to be able to keep the door closed. Aroldis Chapman's going to have to do the damn job at that point. Somebody's got to get outs. So unless Montgomery's throwing a complete game, I mean, he's tracking for it right now. You can't expect him to do much more than this.
You can't. Because without Jordan Montgomery has been doing, he's been having himself a stellar day thus far with how he's been pitching. Throw these fastballs thrown over left and right, and everything that he's been going through and pitching himself to possibly a shutout of the Tampa Bay Rays if the bullpen can keep this up.
I agree. Again, we talk about Tampa having pressure. Again, that goes from last year. Let's go to this matchup that's about to take off in about 5 minutes. Do you think the Toronto Blue Jays are facing a lot of pressure? Because at some point, you're going to have to start paying all your big boys. And I think the window, it could close a little bit on some of the big bats.
And the window could be closing on them when you think about who they have. Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, George Springer, Matt Chapman. Those are the 4 names that come to mind for Toronto. You got to capitalize on this window and perhaps win this series against a Minnesota Twins team. And even though I feel bad for Minnesota sports, given that it may extend their losing streak potentially to 20 if this were to be a sweep, but you have got to capitalize on this window, win this one, and perhaps upset the defending champs.
Yeah, I kind of think of it the same way for the Vegas Golden Knights last year. Like that was their last best chance, so they were able to come through on that side. You never know. I mean, the same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you have the quarterback, you got the window, you get the wins. That's what you got to do. So 1-1 pitch is slammed on the left field line, and we'll do it again on a slider at 88. Glasnow and 90 pitches into his day.
Already going to be that kind of night for Glasnow. Even though he's been doing everything possible for Tampa, they're facing this deficit as the Rangers defense is one of the more underrated in the league. They're just stopping everything from Tampa.
Yeah, they've been immaculate. They've played a perfect game at this point. Now we'll see if Evan Carter can continue his glorious day. Again, admittedly, for me, this is the first time I get a chance to watch this kid, and I've liked everything that I've seen. I think he checks all the boxes.
I've been calling some of the Rangers games at the tail end of the season, back-to-back games between the Rangers and Mariners. This kid has looked very good at the tail end of the season.
I'm not going to say Juan Soto at the Nationals when they won the World Series, as that was a strike that was very, very low, but called anyway. But I mean, he just seems to have that kind of nonchalant look. He's just comfortable no matter the situation. So full count here for Glasnow, and this is a fastball way outside the zone. And Carter draws his second walk, and he's got a double. My goodness.
That one nearly hit Carter right at the lower left shin. And happy that he's not hit by it, but either way, he would have went to first on that case. So far, that hand-eye coordination from Evan Carter working to perfection.
So do you think right now, Alec, I'm throwing this out there, this is a pitch-by-pitch scenario for Glasnow? They're going to try to go batter to batter, I think. He's getting close to the end.
He's getting closer to it with every pitch coming down. This may be his last inning.
Semien kind of looked over to see if they wanted to put the bunt sign on or anything else. That's what it certainly seems like, 1-0, as Glasnow gets set to deliver a curveball way out of the zone, make it 2-0 now.
Oh, I saw something very close there, but that, once again, Marcus Semien, hand-eye coordination.
And thought about it from the first base line, but Carter doesn't go anywhere. And now the count balloons to 3-0 against Semien. It doesn't get any easier with Corey Seager on deck.
It never gets any easier whenever you're facing a high-powered offense like the Texas Rangers. Between Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Evan Carter, that's a dangerous trio of combinations.
And if you were thinking about it now, Kevin Cash, certainly, again, I would do the same thing. He's on the doorstep. He's going to pull out Glasnow here. And this is going to be up to Chris Davinsky, the former Houston Astro. He's going to have to get out of it with runners at first and second and no outs. And again, I'll just be honest here before we go to commercial break. If they give up at least one more run here, this could be over.
If how the Rangers are playing, it could be with the way that they're playing here, especially when you look at their high-powered offense. I saw that unfold this way when I was calling Game 3 between them and the Mariners. They won that game. They clinched their first playoff spot in 7 years. Yeah, they had that opportunity to seal the AL West. They were shut out second time in that series. And so far, instead of them getting shut out, they're shutting out the Rays. Basically an Uno reverse card.
Perfectly said on that side. I had to make sure I didn't laugh all over myself. The Uno reverse is perfect there. And let's just say this is complete nightmare fuel for the rest of the league. What if, and again, this is a big conjecture on my part, but let's just say it happens. What if the Texas Rangers turn into a team in the postseason where all of a sudden they can pitch? Wouldn't they become one of the best teams and favored to win the World Series at that point?
They could be. I agree with you there. They can find their ground on the pitching. They can certainly become one of the best teams in the MLB postseason, perhaps one of the favorites on that part, as you noted there, John.
Yeah, because I mean, I understand no DeGrom, no Scherzer, and certain things, and they're going to continue to add to pitching next year. And who knows? I've had some people from the Texas side tell me, again, you could tell me if you think this is crazy, but some of the fans are saying that since DeGrom is always injured, why don't they try to have him become a 7th, 8th, 9th inning guy, maybe even be a closer? Do you think that's even a possibility?
It's not going to be easy trying to convince DeGrom on becoming a closer or maybe a late inning guy, but maybe it is a possibility with the injury troubles that he's been running into as of late. Plus, he's 35.
Right.
So potentially him being a closer or a relief pitcher, it's not out of their own possibility.
All I'm thinking on that side is if you can give me 3 solid innings and you can just stay consistently healthy, I mean, he's an absolute missile. He throws 102. And now Chris Davinsky on the other end, 4.46 ERA, 42 and a third innings. He's going to have to get out of this right now. We're going to get some scoring updates alongside. It's Toronto, Minnesota. Probably getting underway. This is at Target Field. They won the AL Central. That was not a very competitive division on that side. I can tell you that firsthand, as that was pretty much taken away. So Davinsky's going to get his warm-up tosses, and now he's going to have to go up against Corey Seager, who was absolutely destroying a double the last time up. And now he's going to slam one to center field. Series on his horse, and now it's going to get past him but dive up in the air. He's able to stay with it. I think he got a turf bounce, and now we get a wild throw that goes out of play. My goodness, Alec, how many times are we going to do a broadcast where we see a wild throw brings in a run? 4-0 Texas.
When it rains, it pours. I need to note this right now because it's not just raining. It's pouring runs left and right here, pouring errors left and right on Tampa's side. And perhaps we've seen two of them here in one play. A fielding error followed by another error here, and a throwing error. How much more wild can this be here? And are there wrong ways for Tampa?
Yeah, this is a brutal baseball game right now for the Tampa Bay Rays, and for any fans that were kind of feeling the wild card situation last year between Cleveland and now Texas. Again, Cleveland was able to take them out last year. I think Texas is way harder of an opponent this year. So I don't know. If tomorrow's not a must-win, then I mean they're done at that point. I don't see them coming back right now, as this is a runner on third with no outs. Again, it's already a half-filled ballpark. That's how Tampa is. But now you got Robbie Grossman that could maybe have us a 25% filled ballpark if he comes through.
Yeah, as you mentioned about, we spoke about the errors here. What's that, 6 right now for Tampa? A fielding error by Jose Siri, followed by a throwing error by Isaac Paredes. This night is not going well for the Rays here. Already 2 runs here in the 6th.
I'm with you on the 6th side. I think the MLB network part of it is pretty cautious with 4 because it sort of looked like 2 errors on one play. This is toward left field side. Rosarena's got it, so can't sacrifice the runner. Robbie Grossman not deep enough. 4 errors today, most in a postseason game in franchise history. And again, I think that was a good call on both of our parts because every time I see Tampa in a postseason game, they just play clean baseball, but not today.
Opposite day really has come early for Tampa Bay. It seems what can go wrong will go wrong.
You know what? I mean, if you have as many errors as the score right now, I feel like this could be one of the darkest postseason games in Tampa history, and I mean that.
Yeah. I mean, 4 errors, and I thought it was 6 with 2 errors in one play, but man, it's been looking very dark and allowing these runs left and right. Fortunately for them, that they got out of one of those innings with the bases loaded with a third out.
Right.
But this is still very dark for them.
Adolis Garcia, you never know when he can provide a kill shot. He can do that any time. Falls off a couple fastballs. It's 1-2.
Ooh. So something.
Davinsky will get set. I know Alec's a little bit ahead of me. I'm just going to pick up an inning here for this side as this goes way high, and Adolis able to back his head out of the way. A 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, he could have hit him there. I mean, that was so close to hitting his chest.
Well, we are at Tropicana Field, and this Rays offense needs some juice. They do get a play for Isaac Paredes, throws over to Diaz, so it keeps the runner stranded at third base, but it's only 2 outs.
Well, you speak of juice. Yeah, they need some juice here. Perhaps a little boost from Tropicana themselves.
Yes.
You know, they grow oranges in Florida. and you know, Florida's the Sunshine State, so I'll have it at that.
Yeah, right now between the top juice, it looks like the Houston Astros and Minute Maid might be the last one standing because, again, they won the AL West on the last day of the year.
It seems. But, man, this does not look good for Tampa Bay. We speak of juice. Yeah, I know the Astros are full of juice on offense. Tampa needs to respond in kind with get some more juice.
Yes, they do. They got to just find a way to get some hits. Again, those bunts from the second inning side seem so long ago. And Tyler Glass now, I think that's just a perfect look on his face for how this game has gone. It's just nothing but frustration as we go to the bottom six. It's 4-0 Rangers.
Just nothing but frustration on Tampa's side. They need these runs and badly. I mean, very badly considering the score and the number of errors they've amounted. If they can't, then the errors, they may point to that as the reason that they're losing this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, if you're Kevin Cash, I know he's a stand-up guy. He always goes in the locker room, he answers the questions. But if this game continues the way that you think it might, I don't know how you answer those questions in the locker room. He's going to earn his paycheck today because Tampa will have to take this game and flush it. I want to see right now as we're in the commercial break if they have any listings for the pitching probables for tomorrow because, I mean, it's already a must-win situation.
It is, considering by how Tampa's playing and with the way Texas is getting out their offense left and right. This is becoming must-win for Tampa Bay indeed. It appears it is Nathan Eovaldi for Texas, Zach Eflin for Tampa.
Yeah, that's going to put a lot more pressure on Zach Eflin. He's been good this year, but Eovaldi's been good in starts as well. So if Tampa's offense does what they do today, Texas will win on Wednesday, and you're going to have yourself a short series, my friend.
Yeah, this feels like, even though this is the series that we're looking at the most, it appears if Tampa keeps this up with how they're playing, this may end rather quickly here, and no extra innings.
And didn't Tampa, again, I know we said this, again, they're showing the hockey side of it, and that makes me excited. I think Tampa started the year winning 15 straight games, but Baltimore just never looked back, and then they end up taking the AL East.
And one can make an argument between either Brandon Hyde or Bruce Bochy for AL Manager of the Year, and a job well done for both of them on their respective teams. Brandon Hyde especially on breaking the 100 win barrier for Baltimore and clinching the first seed in the entire AL.
It's amazing, Alec, on that side, because 2 years ago, Baltimore lost 100 games.
An impressive turnaround, indeed.
So Randy Arozarena, he's been the one Tampa Bay Ray with a pulse. He's got 2 hits. It's 1-1 against him. As Montgomery's back out there, and he has been amazing so far.
So far, a stellar day for him, just like how what Cardinals fans have been used to before he got shipped off to Arlington.
Alec, I'll just come out and say it right now. Whether or not Tampa's not doing the job, Montgomery's looked like an absolute ace.
He has been. And perhaps to add insult to injury for the Tampa Bay Sports, no Andre Vasilevsky up until at least late November.
Yeah, that might change some things in the Atlantic Division, especially when the Red Wings play them on Saturday after they open with the Devils. So 1-1 now for Arozarena. As he'll get set to dig in, he's going to have to provide a third hit. This one is down the third baseline, good, stabbed by Jung as he throws it over there to Lowe, and it's 1 up and 1 down.
Those folks continuing on for Tampa Bay throughout these games. The errors not helping either. And Jordan Montgomery, even though he's having himself a night, and perhaps we could see another inning from Montgomery if he keeps this up.
Alec, I'd venture to say the way he's pitching right now, give me 8. Make sure I can stay away from this bullpen.
For sure.
Harold,
there's a lot of question marks surrounding that bullpen.
Absolutely. Again, as I've said, you could throw a match. You don't even have to light the gas can. Something will happen. Harold Ramirez got to get something ignited. Again, 313, 12 home runs, 68 RBI. He's definitely able to put bat on ball. Right now, Tampa's has got to string hits together. It's not about one run at this point. It's about multiple. As we're in the bottom of the 6th, and a wild swing and a miss on a slider. And Montgomery's in complete control here, 0-2.
He placed that one well out to reach of the bat. Perfect placement on having Ramirez to force that out and just missed that barely. I mean, barely missed that ball.
Pitch clock down to 1, and Ramirez just stays alive on an off-speed pitch.
So may have hit him and off of his body, so that's what caused him to stay put.
Well, I said I like the Devil Rays jerseys right now, but they got to provide some Carl Crawford magic here, something to get them going, because Tampa has been completely shut out by Jordan Montgomery. He's trying to bury Harold Ramirez here with the 0-2, pitch number 66 upcoming. Gets the sign from Heim, and he bounces a curveball in the dirt, and Ramirez spits on it.
So Montgomery, 4 hits, no earned runs. So far today, he's been excellent. The type of performance that will have him having other teams look at him and throw perhaps a lot of money for his services.
No doubt about it, Alec. I think you said it perfectly. This is a fastball that's cued on the right field line foul, and we'll do it again.
So meanwhile, we have no runs here between the Blue Jays and Twins. They're at the bottom of the first, 1 out already. Ooh.
It looks like Minnesota's got a man on first with nobody out, as that game's really just getting underway at Target Field. We're at Tropicana right now trying to see what happens between Texas and Tampa. And Ramirez needed a golf club because he's going to go fishing. He's going to sit back down.
Got some days with either Roy McIlroy or Dustin Johnson.
Yes.
And that was a very low ball that he took a chance at. Got to backtrack on that, though.
Yeah, he was swinging wild there. And again, for Tampa, you noted it in the last inning. I think you said it right. You notice a little bit of the nerves. You see a lot of high averages, but I'm not seeing smart at-bats by Tampa other than Rosarena and Isaac Paredes, who's hit the ball hard. He just has nothing to show for it here. And you got to be careful, at least if you're Montgomery. And I got a 4-run lead, but if you plant one in the wrong spot, Paredes can definitely put it in the seats. And again, as I've said, I find it very hard to believe that the Tigers couldn't find a spot for this guy, considering he plays great defense and he's got some power. He never had it in Detroit. He's got a lot of it in Tampa, as it's 1-0 and a fastball right in on the black, make it 1-1.
Right on the money, right there on the 1-0 pitch, top left corner, perfect placement once again for Montgomery.
So Montgomery now about to throw pitch number 71. He's trying to get out of this in a beautiful curveball. Has Paredes way out in front, making 1-2.
Those curveballs very hard to hit, and that time being another proof of it. And Montgomery showed why.
Yeah, he has been spotting everything, whether it's a fastball, sinker, curveball, changeup. He's been using the whole repertoire, and it's been dominant. He's trying to get through 6 scoreless. This is a good Tampa lineup. It's not Texas, but they should be doing better than this. This is cued, way fouled on the left field line, just out in front of it.
Right to the first level of the stands. Someone's going to take that one home with pride.
Absolutely. You got to have some kind of souvenir. You can't just cry the whole way that this game has been going. It's 1-2 as the pitch clock's down to 1. And another fastball. This one's going to stay fair. Good job by Harold Ramirez, and now it's bobbled by Carter. It's going to allow Ramirez to be able to take another base.
Oh, we talked about Evan Carter and him having an insane catch early in this game. At that time, a little bobble there. He didn't fumble it. He stayed with it and limited the runner to just a second, a double. Just limited him to a double. So it could have been worse than that, perhaps a triple, but just a double. And Texas still in the driver's seat.
Again, if I'm the rookie, don't feel bad about that one because you did make a great diving catch in left field. I'd be due for one of those and shake it off. And now it's on the other side for Curtis Mead as Isaac Paredes thinking about trying to move again. He's 1 for 3 with a double, 251 batting average, getting a lot of bombs. But now for Curtis Mead, to see if he can pull through. He's not normally in this spot of the lineup. He's right in the meat of the order. It's 1-0. There's Montgomery, get the sign from Jonah Heim. And this is going right to Jung. And he throws it over, and it's pretty much the same story. They do get a double there, but they strand it. And Texas is through 6. It's 4-0.
You got an update here from Minneapolis. Royce Lewis, 105 mile an hour exit velocity. It's a
So far, I'll tell you this, Alec, I am shocked at both of these results right now. Not that I didn't think Texas would win this game, but the fact that they're so far out in front and the fact that Toronto's already behind the scoreboard, considering they don't want to have the same thing happen to them a few years ago, like it was with the Seattle Mariners when that game got a little wild.
Give me 1 sec.
I think we have a TV side flip over here for both of us. So we will try to get back into this game as they broke into some breaking news. I'm going to try to go on ESPN Plus myself. So I think we're going to both try to flip over here. And I hope that I still have ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I'm following along with it. I just got the news as well on a certain guy being removed, but we're not talking about this. This is about the MLB. We did all discussion about the removal. It can be discussed elsewhere on this as we're looking at perhaps a historic vote, but we're talking about historic. The Rays have made history and not in a good way.
No, not so far, my friend. It's been pretty bad on that end. And again, for me, I'm getting double ABC. Oh, man. I hope that we can get the baseball game to you because right now I'm not seeing it.
Oh, on my end, they're just coming out of the special report.
Okay.
So they've taken all that commercial spot for the special report on the removal that we're just seeing now. Now they just came back to the ABC broadcast. I'm hearing Sean McDonough's voice. He's been a busy man covering baseball, college football, and next week hockey.
Yeah, he's the do-it-all guy right now. Again, you have all these ESPN layoffs. You got to have somebody do the brunt of the work, and McDonough's done it.
Yeah, so far, I give it my hat to him of how good he has done.
He's done a good job, yes.
Yeah. It's a ground ball to between first and second, no problem there as it was spotted and thrown to Diaz. That'll be a quick out at the top of the seventh.
And by the way, Alec, again, not to interrupt your broadcast, but I appreciate you letting me take an inning. I didn't want to have you do all the work.
Hey, anytime, John. Hoping that we can do more of these once hockey season starts.
Absolutely.
We come to next week between Pittsburgh, Chicago, Vegas, and Seattle. 0-1 on Leody Tavares after the first pitch, and now the 0-1 pitch from Davinsky. It is low, bottom left. It's a changeup at 82. This brings the count to 1-1.
The only thing on my mind right now is how many more runs will Texas score?
By how this game is going, maybe several more. They don't have any runners yet, but we do have Leody Tavares at the plate. He does have an opportunity at a home run. He did have an opportunity for a grand slam. All three runners were stranded over. There were 2 outs then.
I mean, even with 4 runs, I'll say this: it's been a very fast-played game because Tampa hasn't shown us anything.
So far, it's a bunch of nothing. So the official score from Minnesota was Royce Lewis on a home run to left. Edward Julian ran it in for a 2-run homer. It is now a 2-2 count. Meanwhile, here. Now this one on the 2-2 pitch, flung it over to the left side. This is spotted, going and cutting the warning tracks. 2 outs now for Tampa.
Well, Davinsky is going to get some much-needed outs. Again, it's absolutely paramount that the bullpen keeps it right where it is.
And so far, so good here, perhaps for Chris Davinsky in this game. The pitching staff is doing their job, and Tyler Glasnow, Chris Davinsky, we can say they've been the best players for Tampa in this game.
Yeah, and outside Randy Arozarena in the batting order, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, Arozarena, he's been doing the most out of these bats here. 2 for 3 on the day. This pitch low at the left side for Josh Jung. 2 outs here, top of the 7th, and Tampa's going to get out of this inning unscathed. Jung got a sacrifice fly out. That's of the opening score, and Texas never looked back there. This one right on the line, at the bottom of the zone. 1-2 on that changeup.
No, they got 9 outs left. And again, OT, he watches a lot of the stuff on the YouTube side. I appreciate you, my friend. And again, you said the same comment that Alec and I have said throughout the broadcast. Said the Rays are playing very unraised like, and that's well said because when it's a clean game, when you know it's base hits, bunts, everything else that you need, you're not seeing any of that right now. And Kevin Cash's squad's got 9 outs to change that.
And they have to turn it around quick. And I mean very quick here, considering the 4 errors in this game to date as of right now to record.
Yeah.
I know some of the stat sheet is keeping their hand busy here, writing down what happened throughout the game. and the statisticians, a big shout out to them on researching this.
Yeah, because again, they're pulling facts out that we haven't seen before. Again, it was a postseason history for the Rays for 4 errors, and that's not what you want. Especially coming off of, again, I don't think you can say it enough, as we mentioned, the Guardians last year. I covered that series last year. Alex got this one for you now, and the side of it, and the Rays have not looked like the Rays in any of those. I understand extra inning games last year, but regardless of what's there and what's available, Texas is a completely different opponent. If you don't bring it here at all, they're going to sweep you aside and look to move on. So it's going to be a quick turnaround tomorrow, and whatever else they did today, essentially Tampa's got to flush it.
And they have been. And Tampa might be on that path again if they don't turn it around. Because Texas, they've been steamrolling on all cylinders.
Yeah. And again, I don't want to look too far ahead as what matchups could be what, but if we get to a situation, I know we're getting in the middle of the hockey season next week because that's going to get underway, but if we get to a situation where it's Texas and Houston for a chance to go to the World Series, I think I might have to even steal one of those games.
An all Texas matchup could possibly be cause for arguments between both the south and north sides of the state of Texas. But this is going to be one for all the popcorn, just to drive through Interstate 45.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about either one of the teams capable of winning a World Series, and then for the National League, I still think it's the Braves or bust. That's just me. People can argue it the other way across, but I could see either one of these AL teams getting there.
The AL is so wide open, as we're seeing here. Bottom of the 7th, we can make picks for either the Orioles, the Rays if they turn us around, Rangers if they come away with this. Astros, they're still there, even though they dropped 5 of 6 to the Royals and lost the series to the Athletics. You don't see this very often here. And now a strike here, this one outside the zone on a 92-mile-an-hour slider. Another blown call by the umpire.
I will say this, it's been consistently called a strike, so again, you got to mention that. If you're Tampa, you want to be patient. If you like it, you got to swing at it. And again, bullpen on the outside for Texas, they're not very busy because Jordan Montgomery has been good.
Yeah, he's still in, having pitched 78 times. He forced Margot to take a chance on that swing. He missed it on the changeup. The 1-2 pitch set to come on its way. Looking over to the left side. Oh! Outstanding catch! Right on the spot. Stole it right out of the air. Josh Jung, this rookie can do it all.
That's another great play for Texas. Again, just trying to get that last mini jump over there to the reach from third, trying to knock it away from Seager. He did make the play. But again, you got about 5 of those for Texas, not errors, all great catches. On the other side, you got 4 errors for Tampa. So it's been the exact reverse of what you would think.
Yeah, especially seeing the situations between these two teams. Jordan Montgomery is keeping the bullpen right onto the dugout. I mean, nobody's warming up as of right now, but Montgomery, he could possibly go into the 8th inning. He forced a swing and miss on the changeup as it was going out of bounds. So, force his batter to take a chance and pay the price, Taylor Walsh.
Yeah, if you're about 95 pitches through the 7th, Alec, on this side, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You put Montgomery up for the 8th, and you empty the tank.
You're basically emptying the tank through through there, and Wall's foul run over with an air ball to right side. This may enter the stands. You don't see the camera angle from there. 1-2 is the count, and ABC previously had a shot of one of their longtime broadcasters, Dick Vitale. Dickie B, they coined him on the nickname. Montgomery, high pitch there. It was easily caught by Jonah Heim. And we're looking at the Rays' last 4 postseasons. They have not won an opening series since 2020.
You look at some of those crowd shots, Alec, it looks like they've seen a ghost.
Yeah, this ball evaded Corey Seager by just mere feet. It was so close to being a catch for the second out, but instead it is now a base hit. And if this was just a few feet towards that glove, that would have been an absolute highlight reel catch by Seager.
Yeah, he had the right positioning. That just bounced over his head. I'm going to go ahead and say this now. I know Kevin Cash is probably looking at it again. Taylor Wall's got a ton of speed. And if I'm Bruce Bochy on the other end, I know Jonah Heim's got a rocket arm. But considering Tampa's got to get something going, I would look for Taylor Wall's try to steal here.
I would, because Tampa needs momentum badly. You think about stolen bases, and with Ronald Acuna being the first player ever to be on the 40-70 club, well, Walls needs to get some momentum going here for Tampa heading into game 2, what should be a must-win game. Just right outside the strike zone, what they call it a strike. 1-1 is the count. Now, Josh Sborz is warming up for Texas if he were to come on at some point now or the 8th inning.
Yeah, he may just start to begin some soft tosses in. I don't think Montgomery's in any danger at this point, but we'll see what happens.
Now, this one aired over the left field. Evan Carter spotted it. No problem for the Rook. 2 outs now for Tampa Bay. They're down to their last 7.
So that's nice, Alec. Again, on the previous side, he had a little bit of a misplay, get a nice easy catch there, get right back into it again. I think Evan Carter and Josh Jung in this game have been absolutely outstanding, not to mention all of the Texas players with defense especially.
You can pick any one of them and possibly standing out. Everyone, including Jordan Montgomery himself. And we speak of Montgomery, boy, he's been having himself a night. He be named our man of the match.
He might be the man of the night as far as everything else is concerned for the next 4 games we got today.
Especially when you look at the pitching matchup for tomorrow, Nathan Eovaldi going up against Zach Eflin. So perhaps this could be something of a change of a guard. Now we have a batting change here, Junior Gavinero coming in.
So from what I saw for Junior when I was getting some of those stats in the 20-year-old call-up, again, only 34 at-bats, but 235, a bomb, and 7 RBI. So they like him a lot in the Tampa organization from what I saw. We'll see if he can come through.
Yeah, he's going to be their pinch hitter in place of Rene Pinto. And Pinto has batted 0 for 2. Gavinero, this will be his first at-bats.
So that's going to move Christian Bethencourt in when they bring the catcher on that side. So we'll see what happens with Caminero here. But this is a big spot. It's a playoff game. You never know when you're going to get back here. I know you're with a good organization in Tampa, but make the most of it.
Yeah, just 20 years old, this kid. This one curved over below the zone. And Montgomery was going to go towards the strike zone. Would have been if this was a fastball. For pinch hitters this season, for Tampa Bay, .305 batting average, leading the MLB.
Yeah, putting balls in play and doing all the right things, but we're not seeing that right now.
And once again, another ball, this one going right above the top left, 2-0. That one coming on a changeup. This next one will be Montgomery's 90th pitch.
So maybe for Montgomery over the last couple, starting to see him maybe tired, get a little bit wild. But again, if he gets through 7 scoreless, he's absolutely done the job. The bullpen's got to come through for Texas.
They have to. And Gavinero's helmet fell off on that foul ball. It goes right behind everyone, right to the netting.
We knew what he was going for there, Alec.
It'll be staying put, though. The 2-1 pitch from Montgomery. On his way. And back-to-back strikes. Though it seems that the strike zone may have been expanded just a bit to the left by how we're seeing the judgment of the umpire, Carlos Torres. Hopefully umpire.
Yeah, he definitely favors that side of it. We've called that all day today.
And we saw that all throughout the day. High ball. And now it's a full count on that fastball, 3-2. The Rays need something desperately. They have 2 outs. They cannot afford to get another out here.
So the door is opened a little bit, just a little bit here. We'll see if Montgomery can dance around. Really his only danger of the game so far, in my opinion.
Now this is pitch number 93. Got him! Jordan Montgomery, have yourself a day. Curved it over left side, and that wraps up the 7th.
Well, Alec, if that is it, and that is all for Jordan Montgomery, if he doesn't come out for the 8th, again, have yourself a day. Perfectly said on that side. Absolute dominant. He threw a gem. And for Texas, they need pitching. You know what the situation is with the bullpen. He's fired up. He says, let's effing go. Why not? I mean, he was perfect today.
What more can you ask of him? Because he has delivered a shutout of the Tampa Bay Rays with him on the mound. What a day it has been. Allowed just 6 hits in 7 innings pitched. That ERA at absolute 0.
Yeah. I don't care what anybody says as far as Texas and Tampa and their lineups. I understand they don't compare. But this is a situation where if you and I were being honest with ourselves, the way Texas started, we didn't expect them to be in a wild card. There's some pressure on them as well to be able to get the job done because they know how good this offense is. And Jordan Montgomery goes out there, he does the job, he allows his offense to pretty much just get their groove, get their rhythm. They didn't have to completely dominate today to this point, but 4 runs is enough, especially if you're in a postseason game. You're not going to score 10, 15 runs in a postseason game. So, I mean, he's done exactly what he's needed to do right now. And again, I think so far, he's going to be the man of the entire night.
The man of the entire day, entire night.
Yeah.
No matter how you put it, it's been a stellar night for Jordan Montgomery. Like he's in St. Louis form, and he's keeping up that form this season. And maybe Texas keeps him in free agency. A decision has to be made on that front, but so far, amazingly well done.
Yeah, and again, we know Texas loves to spend money. Montgomery has a couple more of these starts. He's staying put.
He's going to be staying put if he keeps this up, for sure. And we're coming into the 8th, and the view of some of the manta rays along the Tampa Bay area, where the city of Tampa or the city of St. Petersburg, these 2 cities are so close to one another.
And those things are so cool. They haven't had anything to worry about, though. No home runs hit, so the manta rays stay clean.
It's just staying clean. Now coming on is Jake Diekman, 3.34 ERA and 56 2/3 innings pitched, 26% strikeout rate and 16% walk rate.
He can be a little wild for the former Texas Ranger, but he's going up against his former team in this kind of lineup. You better make sure he doesn't light the gas can here. You got to keep it at 4-0.
And as you noted, John, during the intermission, the commercial break is indeed Christian Betancourt being the new catcher for the Rays. Sweeper 2-1 at 84.
That's a good-looking pitch there. If he can keep doing that, I think it's going to be a solid inning.
Could be for Diekman. Still the Rangers leading 4-0. And Diekman going up against the rookie, Evan Carter, 21 years old, 2 walks and a double. And that kind of night for the youngster. 1-1 pitch. Swung and missed as this one's going right down Main Street. May have grazed the bat, and Betancourt was looking at it. 1-2 to count now. Diekman came over from Chicago, the Chicago White Sox previously. Look, and then hit over to the right side, off the hand of Diaz, and Evan Carter. His day continues with a base hit.
You gotta be kidding me, Alec. That's a tough play for Diaz. That was gonna be a base hit anyway, but he's gonna be having nightmares.
He's going to be having nightmares of how he saw that one bounce off his catching glove. This is one that Diaz thinks that he should have had, and he was sliding down, but no matter what, it was going to be a base hit.
Yeah, that's a base hit. That's the artificial turf that we talked about with those bounces. But Diaz, you just want some conventional plays. He hasn't had any.
And so far, none at all. And this next one, out one, as this goes over to right field, right onto the glove of Manuel Marco. Marcus Semien retired early.
Oh, even the ball that was just hitting right field there, he had to make sure he had communication to call it off to make sure they didn't run into each other.
Yeah, don't run into each other. You don't want any of those mistakes. Now, Corey Seager, former Dodger, 1 for 4 on the day. He has a double earlier. One coming, and just outside. It's a sweeper at 82. It's 1-0. So Diekman starting up once again. Already has pitched 6 times. We could imagine that we could possibly get another if things hold up, unless he pitches well, but that's a swing and a miss. As Seager took a chance that the ball was going inside top center on a fastball at 95. And they're saying over the ABC broadcast that Seager could possibly have an MVP season if it weren't for Shohei Ohtani. He nearly gets hit by this fastball coming at 95.
I think that's a good call on that side, because if it wasn't for him, yeah, you'd be talking about that, because Seager's been absolutely dominant.
Whether it be with LA at the famous ballpark at Vince Scully Avenue, or here, or in Texas, right at the new stadium, right by the old one, Choctaw Stadium, Old White Field. Whether it be in those 2 areas, he's been dominant wherever he goes. 3-1 to count now. This next pitch will be Diekman's 10th pitch. See what he does here. Disposal, surveying his options. Here comes the pitch, and just right outside. That'll get Seager at first. Didn't take a chance at it, and that'll draw the walk.
It's probably better than the outcome of the last couple pitches that they threw Seager, when they threw him curveballs right down the middle, and he almost slammed a couple of them for home runs. So now Diekman's going to have to get out of some hot water. And I know you mentioned this earlier about Diekman. If he's able to hold this here, you might want to, if you're Kevin Cash, use him for the 9th. If you're going to take a loss, take a loss, but make sure that your bullpen is ready to go for tomorrow in a must-win game.
Yeah, you got to get everyone ready for tomorrow, especially when you've had basically the full arsenal ready. If this keeps up, because it's all night from Diekman. Surveying, and now throwing just below the bottom line. 86 on the changeup. Facing off against Robbie Grossman, the count is now 1-1. He's a switch hitter. He's normally batted to the left. Now he's batting to the right for the first time. Top right that time. A fastball at 95. Perfect delivery by Diekman. 1-2 to count. Now Grossman in a 1-2 hole. 1-2 with 1 out. Here comes, and just outside. Going to the left, 2-2.
Again, as we talked about, Robbie's very good at drawing out this count. He's just going to continue to make Diekman use his ammunition.
He is that time. So now we're looking at the bullpen. Aroldis Chapman is warming up. Swung and missed. Diekman got him. So that's the
Yeah, Robbie Grossman, again, I will shake my head of why he's third in the lineup. But again, if you're 4-0, Bruce Bochy is going to write a letter and tell me to shut my mouth at this point. But I wonder if they'll move that for tomorrow.
The update there, it was a deep ball from Toronto. It was answered back with a diving catch by Michael A. Taylor at center field. You talk about this diving catches, those from Jordan Montgomery, Evan Carter, or Michael A. Taylor has one of his own there with Minnesota.
Yeah, we got web jams all over the place today, Alec.
Yeah, a lot of them. This one grazed off the bat of Adolis Garcia on the fastball. It's quickly an 0-2 count with runners at first and second. Bruce Bochy looking for the Rangers getting their first playoff series win. It's set in a while, making the playoffs for the first time in 7 years. It's an 0-2 count. Diekman facing up against Garcia. Got him! 97-mile-an-hour fastball. But it's a 1-2 count. Or was it right off the bat, maybe?
They say he just got a piece of that?
He just got a piece of it. Outside that time. So fastball coming in 97, 2-2. It was ball, foul ball, strike swinging, ball. That was the sequence on Garcia. 20 pitches already for Diekman. See what he has here. Got him! The fastball at 97, right for center. Garcia took a chance at it and just missed it. 4-0 Rangers. We'll see what the Rays can do potentially against Aroldis Chapman.
That was power on power right there. And if Diekman threw that maybe a mile an hour less, Garcia would have absolutely put that one on the ballpark. And they're showing Jordan Montgomery now. I think he's going to be taking a seat for the rest of his day. So it's going to leave it up to the Texas bullpen. And if you're Aroldis Chapman, I don't think you're going 2 innings. But it's very important whether it's Josh Sborz or whoever else they throw out there right now. Make sure, I'm just going to say this as plain as day. You cannot give up a run. Don't ever give the Rays any hope to get back into this game.
So when we look back at this Rangers bullpen, we're looking at them. The original plan may be Josh Sborz getting inserted here, but we will see who in the end gets inserted on this opportunity to close out this game. If this is a 4-0 game, so it's not a save opportunity for the bullpen as of right now.
No, but they have to treat it as such, honestly, Alec, with the most importance to make sure that Tampa doesn't get anything going, like we've said, because they shut them down all day. Jordan Montgomery, he's got the cheat code right now, it certainly seems like. And Texas, if they can find a way, as we talked about a little bit in our open, if they can find a way just to pitch a little bit here through this postseason, I think that they can do themselves a big-time service, because I don't care who they go up against, Texas, as far as their offense in this playoffs. I don't care what pitching. I understand the playoffs, you play the best of the best. I think this lineup is going to be able to travel across any opponent. It's just about that pitching. Jordan Montgomery did a perfect job today. And if he can continue to do a little bit more of that in Texas, maybe cuts down those runs by half, they're going to put themselves in a great situation where they can go into a deep run. And I'll be honest here with you on this too. For as much as I like the Atlanta Braves, if we're talking about Texas and Atlanta as far as the final, if it ever got to that point, boy, oh boy, if you're a pitcher, I'd be a little bit scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared going up against either one of these two lineups. Because Atlanta and LA, they're talent loaded left and right. All from those lineups. You think of Ronald Acuna, Matt Olson for Atlanta, and indeed it is Aroldis Chapman for the Rangers. There's much mention about Chapman being a much maligned pitcher with issues in save opportunities. Though he had a save in Game 5 of the 2016
Absolutely. I'm a little bit nervous, I'll admit to you. We'll see if Chapman can dig in here because we know the Cuban Missile can absolutely bring it. He can be lights out, but he can also be wild.
It's basically a box of chocolates. You can
Yes.
never know what you're getting. So quickly, it's 0-2. Chapman, the Cuban Missile, pitching. It is already 3 times. It's a foul ball to the left side for Yanni Diaz. 101 as this goes right outside. 1-2 to count.
I still remember him as a young rookie at Cincinnati throwing 104. He still brings it up 101 even now. It's absolutely nuts.
And even at 35 years old, he can bring it there. And the sinker coming in at 99. That is a really fast sinker. 99 miles an hour. You'd imagine sinkers normally as fast as 90, but 99, geez.
Yeah, I mean, you get your bat on that, that's going to be pretty much a ground ball. That's where he wants to get it. And you combine it with the slider, he can be absolutely nasty.
Speaking of the slider, he used that this time around on the 0-2 pitch yet again, and it's 1-2 to count. Bottom of the 8th inning, no outs, facing up against Yanni Diaz.
So again, for Yanni Diaz, we talked about a 330 hitter on this side. And now as good as time as any with the last 6 outs. Get on base and make Chapman work.
And there will be an 8 pitch now as this goes fouled over to the right side through the air. And still, Yanni Diaz is going on with this long sequence with Randy Arozarena on deck.
Exactly.
Now the 1-2 pitch going over to the left side, and no problem there for Texas.
It's exactly what you wanted to do, at least a little bit. Make him work on that side because you never know what can happen.
Indeed, John. You never know what you're getting with Adolis Chapman. He can be hot, but at the same time, he can be cold. That time, he's coming out hot. Now, Arozarena at the plate. Their trusty right-handed bat right down Main Street on the slider. 89 miles an hour, no swing, 0-1. Arozarena facing a base hit and a double earlier in this game. The Cuban Missile. And Arozarena took a chance at it, and it looked like he might have bought a golf club because this one was low, 0-2 to count.
Yeah, I bet he was wishing he was getting that slider back because he took the best pitch of the at-bat for a strike, and now he's in a 0-2 spot.
And a hard missile to Cuban Missile comes up with the KO on Randy Arozarena. 2 outs this quick for Tampa.
Yeah, he put himself in a bad spot. He really should have swung at that slider. Could have easily hit that out. And then he gets 1-on-1 right on the black. Good night.
Good night, and get some rest over at the home that you're staying because this game, if this keeps up,
Yeah.
it might be over quick. 0-1 count on Harold Ramirez. 0 for 3. Grounded out the fielder's choice previously, and this one don't swing at the bottom. And strike 2, they rule it. 0-2 to count. The low ball as it was hitting the dirt on that slider 91 and off the head of Jonah Heim.
What the heck was Ramirez even swinging at in the second pitch?
I wonder. And now thrown out at first. Got him. And our Adolis Chapman does the job here. They talk about how hot he can be,
Yeah.
how cold he can be. This time he comes out en fuego.
You know what, Alec? Again, 13 pitches. I remember when he won the World Series with the Cubs when he traded from the Yankees, and they used him for like 60 pitches. If you want to bring him out for the ninth, I guess you could on that side because Chapman certainly looks locked in. Again, that's a dangerous thought. But this thought just popped in my brain. It kind of seems like Tampa's trying to hit the 4-run home run with nobody on base. That was just poor execution.
I mean, Tampa Bay, whether it be with those errors where everything is going much misaligned with them, you'd expect that they do something much different in game
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take, and that's a daunting task. That's probably not going to happen. But as you said going into it, I mean, Tampa, again, that was a perfect comment. They're playing very unrace-like. They're usually a team that makes contact with the baseball and try to, just keep the runners moving, keep that engine going. But they keep trying to go for these big bombs with nobody on base, and they look pretty foolish there against Chapman. I understand he can be very good. We just talked about that. He looked really good in that inning. But just if I'm Kevin Cash, again, I'm in that locker room. You got to get these guys to lock in tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be a quick turnaround for you, a quick turnaround for both of these teams. And I don't know. I don't feel very confident with Tampa right now.
It feels that confidence is just dwindling down through every passing minute or hour. But man, it's not been looking good for them thus far in this game. And if they and if and unless things get turned around for the Rays tomorrow, it may be another quick exit for the Rays.
Yeah, I mean, I said going into it with you that I thought this would be a 3-game series, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on Zach Eflin tomorrow.
And I mean a lot, considering throughout the season he's statistically been their best pitcher throughout the game or the season for the Rays.
Yes, it has, and we're looking at the ESPN side of our Alec and I's next couple of assignments here on the Tuesday side. I'm excited for puck drop.
Yep. Penguins Blackhawks at 8 p.m. and as part of the Golden Knights banner night, and out comes a new pitcher for the Rays and early retirement there for Nathaniel Lowe, what could be his last at bat of the game. Though it's been a nice run for Nathaniel Lowe getting the opening run.
Yes, it has, and for all the Texas Rangers and for Andrew Kittredge, they haven't had him too much this year. Just 14 games. He's coming off some of the surgeries and injuries as well. He's a normal closer situation, so that's interesting to me that they would use him in this game right now and not use some more of a pedestrian level pitcher at this point.
Yeah, interesting decision because if they were to get someone to close out the game, they would look at either him normally or now Pete Fairbanks, who's their designated closer after the injury to their who normally would be their closer, Jason Adam.
Yes. So yeah, he's one of the main guys that you would use. So I agree. I think that's an interesting call there for Kevin.
Yeah. By the way, another home run for Royce Lewis while we have a 1-2 count. It is 3-0 Twins.
Holy cow, Alec. I mean, last year he was trying to find playing time, and now he's got 2 bombs in a playoff game.
Yeah, 2 bombs in a playoff game up against the Blue Jays, where we all thought that the Blue Jays could take care of business against the Twins.
Yeah.
Maybe the Twins are here to show us that they're not going away that easily.
Maybe the best thing for the Twins, Alec, on that side is it's the wild card. You only got to beat Toronto twice, and they can go home.
Yeah. That type of slider at 2-2. So Jonah Heim at that. At the beginning of the year, he had that flow. He since got a haircut. Now, right down for bottom right, Heim took a swing at it. It goes fouling to right side. And Kittredge, we look at that glorious beard. I mean, it's just as long as Brent Burns'.
Yeah, he's got the hockey beard flow right now, but I think he's got more of his chiclets.
Yeah, more of that chiclets. And this one aired over to the left side. It's going to go to the warning tracks and caught. So now, top of the ninth, the Rangers down to their final out unless the Rays tie it or win it. So Jose Leclerc is at the bullpen warming up. No. Leody Tavares at bats. 2 outs for the Rangers. Kittredge delivers one, and this will be spotted, thrown, and saved. That's what they ruined. Little late on the throw to Yanni Diaz. And now Tavares is safe at first. It's a base hit for the Rangers.
Yeah, he just beat that out again on first blush for me. That was all speed there for Leody. You know, you can do that on those infield burners. And that was a good play across, but Tavares just a little too quick.
That speed, it just got before, milliseconds just before the catch. Josh Jung, he can put it away here. He can put it away with a home run. We haven't had any in this game here. This one thrown, and the expanded strike zone strikes again for Carlos Torres. Oh, never mind, it's 1-0. I thought it was a strike. That's what Torres wrote it, but it was overruled by one of the other umpires. Waited up 1-0 is the count, and this time it is a strike for real. Bottom right corner, no swing for Jung on Kittredge. The fastball coming in 96, 1-1. And some of the Rays fans are starting to head for the exits.
It's a shame because you pay a lot for these playoff tickets.
And it really is a shame. So now the 1-1 pitch for Kittredge, serving the options. Now throwing, swung and missed. On his way is Tavares. And it was the decision. Got him. He got caught on the fifth. Here comes the Rays here. A do or die situation for Tampa Bay. And trying to claw their way back into this game. They need 5 to win, 4 to tie.
Yeah, nobody's probably going to look at that last play for Leody Tavares there because Texas is up 4-0. That's not normally what you want to do to be able to end the inning, but you're right. On that side, you need 5 runs to be able to win this game. I don't think tying at that point is going to do you any justice. I mean, we could see what happens with Tampa, but they got to find a way to just get a runner past third base here.
Yeah, they need to find a way to get back at third base. We have Ian joining us here for the bottom of the ninth. So here we are, opening game of this series. The Rangers leading 4-0. Good. I just got out of work. So I'm not gonna be able to watch it, but I'm gonna listen to this last half inning. All right. So imagine my surprise when I looked at the score when I went out, and Texas is up 4-0. Tell me something. Jordan Montgomery has been stellar. Yes. I mean, really stellar. And apparently, I saw a post from Tree. Have the Rays been turned that bad in the field? I mean, 4 errors, which could have easily been 6 errors. I mean, it's that kind of night for Tampa Bay. Oh, Jesus. 4 errors.
Yeah,
Seriously.
It's really been a comedy of errors here, Ian, on that side. It's been really that bad.
Oh. And if we score the other game, the Twins are up 3-0 on the Blue Jays, and no kids through 3. Wow.
Yeah, it's the Royce Lewis experience, apparently. He's got 2 bombs.
Yeah, 2 home runs so far. 2 bombs blasted out of a cannon. Oh, it's like, the Twins don't have Byron Buxton. Royce Lewis.
Yeah, he's doing his best impression right now. And again, if you do get a chance to check the highlights and everything else, Texas has been making defensive plays all over the field. They've looked good.
Yeah, they have been. And now, see what up? Jose Leclerc at the bottom of the ninth. Non-save opportunity unless the Rays pull back at this. On the line. Left side on the slider, 84-01. He's just 4 saves this season, but he's been reliable among the relief pitchers in this Texas bullpen. The Carter coming in at 90. 1-1 is the count. Paredes had a double earlier in this game. He's 1 for 3. So now this one goes outside as well on a wild pitch. So it is 2-1, no swing as Paredes backtracked on it. We speak of the Blue Jays and the Oh, man. Show me a catch along the wall from Minnesota. 2-2 is our current count here. This one going right the middle. Going to We Will Rock You. Stomp, stomp, clap.
And if you're Texas and you get out of this between 7 for Montgomery and then Chapman and Leclerc and you look easy doing it, that sets you up perfectly for tomorrow.
It does. Indeed. The cutter coming in at 92 was outside. Full count now. And what a catch it was for Max Kepler of the Twins to get the first out. It was right along the wall.
This would be the reverse case for Aroldis Chapman. Just suck the second half of the regular season and then become God
Yeah.
during the postseason. It would go like that.
You think back to his save in Game 5 of the 2016 World Series. Yeah. And then, Chapman and other Cubs themselves believe that the unnecessary use of Chapman in Game 6 almost blew the Cubs the World Series that year, but Mike Montgomery, who never even had a save before that point, gets the save perhaps not only of the Cubs season that year, but perhaps all of baseball.
Yeah.
And so, 0-1 is the count, 1 out. Jonathan Aranda is in as the pinch hitter for Tampa, taking the place of Curtis Mead. You get some momentum here. The Rays down to their final 2 outs. Rangers trying to preserve a 4-0 shutout.
It's time to roll the dice if you're Kevin Cash here, and if you're Jose Leclerc, keep yourself clean. Texas played a great game so far.
And keeping himself clean, he is still doing so here on a golf swing from Aranda. 0-2 is the count.
Again, another situation where you're trying to hit a 4-run home run with nobody on base. I do see Tampa look out of character.
It feels uncharacteristically un-Rays of the Rays here. The 0-2 pitch way up high on the fastball. 97, and it's 1-2. So Leclerc trying to preserve this shutout here for the Rangers as they look to draw first one here. Got him! Right outside the zone, just out the reach of the bat on the changeup. And Leclerc gets the KO.
Well, it's going to leave it up now to Manuel Margot, but I mean, this is a nightmare situation for Tampa over the last 2 postseasons now, and they're essentially up against it where tomorrow is a must-win against a much better Texas team, as we said, other than Cleveland last year. And again, you had a 15-game win streak to start the year. Baltimore takes the division, and this could be over very quickly as early as Wednesday.
To play devil's advocate to the Rays, they basically had to put together a patchwork pitching staff throughout the season.
Yes.
Because everyone got hit by the plague.
And Shane Baz, Shane McClanahan, as is noted, not to mention Drew Rasmussen, Jeffrey Springs, Calvin Foucher, Garrett Clevenger. Yeah, those pitchers, they're all out on the 60-day IL. They won't have McClanahan for the rest of the year and potentially next year. And this will draw a walk for Tampa Bay as it was 3 straight balls and then as followed up with the walk.
See, I agree with you boys completely on that because it's a good call. But again, I think we go back to the point just in this game alone. All those pitchers don't help the batters today.
It was Josh Lowe that time in place of Manuel Margot, just to note.
Yep. And it also doesn't help that other days haven't. Franco.
Yeah, we did mention that earlier in the beginning of the broadcast as well, and they're missing him.
You're really missing him. And Wander Franco with whatever he has been dealing with as of late. Austin Leclerc on the 0-1 pitch and almost bumped it, backtracked on the changeup. And it's 1-1. The count. on Jonathan Aranda. See what to do for Aranda here. It's a 1-1 count, and this one, no swing. The slider coming in at 85, outside bottom left, 2-1 it is.
I think we got Taylor Walls here trying to stay alive.
Taylor Walsh. Oh, yeah, that is Taylor Walsh. I thought for a moment it was Aranda. It is Walsh. The lefty. This one up to the air. It's going to be spotted. And reporting for duty, Jose Leclerc. The Texas Rangers blank the Tampa Bay Rays for their fourth shutout in postseason history.
Well, again, it's that kind of day for Tampa in the postseason. The Devil Rays uniforms don't provide them any magic. I kind of wonder if they burn those jerseys for tomorrow and go back to the Tampa regular Rays there on that side. Nothing could be worse. They did get 6 hits, but again, a couple of them were bunts early. But you remember the 4 errors and the 7 scoreless for Jordan Montgomery. Bruce Bochy had an easy job managing. I think Ian, Alec, or myself could have managed this game there for Texas today because they played so brilliantly.
Well, shoot, when your pitcher throws 7, did you say 7 scoreless?
Yeah,
7 scoreless.
7 scoreless.
Wow, and they only had to use 2 bullpen arms, right?
Yes.
Yeah, only Aroldis Chapman and Jose Leclerc.
So very efficient. And also saves the personnel in case Tampa makes it a challenge.
Yeah.
For the Rangers the second game, and they have to prolong it. They have every bullpen arm available to them. However, for Texas though, that bullpen is still a little bit of a question mark, just because throughout the season we saw them choke away games. It was good today, but how much of that was because the starting pitcher went 7?
I think you make a great point there, Ian. I think a lot of it has to do with Jordan Montgomery going 7. Absolutely. So Tampa's got to know that going into it. And again, as Alec and I mentioned, for Zach Eflin, that's a lot of pressure on him tomorrow. But they've got to find a way. And honestly, this Tampa offense, I'll go back to and punch it again real quick before I get out of here. They've got to find a way. Yes, they had 6 hits. But, I mean, it was Randy Arozarena with a pair of doubles. And other than that, you just didn't see any thunder from this bat. And on the other end, Corey Seager, again, same thing for him. They kept throwing him curveballs down the middle of the zone. You know that's where the pain train's going to be. So if Texas has an easy time like this again, and they can find some pitching coming into the postseason, as I mentioned with Alec, that can change some things because this Texas lineup, I think, is going to travel. And I don't care who they play. They're good offensively. If they find some pitching, look out.
For sure. And we'll see if they can wrap this up tomorrow. So whether we do this together or not, who knows? But in all likelihood, this is going to be a duel between the two teams. We'll see if Texas closes things out and travels to Baltimore. But however this goes, I would love to see an all-Texas showdown in the ALCS.
That would be interesting.
And this AL is so wide open. So any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and let John go because I'm gonna do like a little to be continued promo for this.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend, on that side. I know I was feeling a little under the weather, so I don't know if I'll be here for tomorrow's side, but I bet I could join you today. And if I don't see you tomorrow on that side, I will plan for next week with the hockey season opening.
And with Vegas, Seattle, that's the last game of next Tuesday is exactly a week from now. I'll be covering Pittsburgh and Chicago, and rookie and the vet, Connor Bedard versus Sidney Crosby.
I appreciate it, man. I had fun today. We'll see you.
Yeah. We'll see you
Now,
All right, we'll see you guys. I will talk to you probably next week. I don't think I'm going to be with Alec tomorrow because, again, I think it'll be a COVID situation. But next week, I plan on being here and we'll get it started again. Talk to you.